Hi. Yeah, sorry about the delay. We had a little problem. We couldn't get bail money together fast enough. But now it's all sorted. We are here. And we're not going to go over what we were talking about while we would start because, TOS and all that. But thank you so much for being here. It is Shadesong. It is Winter Thrice, episode 5 of 5, the finale. It is incredibly bittersweet and one to have arrived here and knowing it's the last one with this gang, but at the same time, we've had so much fun and we're going to have a good one tonight. Also, speaking of the gang, speaking of the people into the really weird stuff like, sushi Oreos and all that, let me introduce them to you. Here they are, surrounding me everywhere.
Ooh.
What's up?
What's up?
Hi.
Hello.
Howdy.
Howdy. So, the usual, tell us who you are, where people can find you, and what kind of Oreo you prefer. Because, that's the hot topic question that everyone wants to know about. So we'll start with Beth. Beth, what kind of Oreo do you prefer, Beth?
Oh, hey. I like a straight up Oreo, no double stuff. I did recently try the Oreo thins, thin cookies and thin cream. It's
That's
actually pretty darn good.
Really? It's not just like,
no,
like insulting?
I mean, if you eat a whole sleeve of them, it's fine.
A whole sleeve.
If you're just
Oreos.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're here. It's finale day. I'm very excited. I'm playing Hades, the Jotunbären bard, and she's got some stuff to talk about, I think. And you can find me on the interwebs at Beth Masco for Twitter and Instagram. And you can also catch me here on Monday for The Lost Sands for Monday Night Mayhem, which is already super fun. So check that out. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, your love for thin Oreos aside, it's very wonderful. Thank you here gracing us with your presence. Thank you so much. Next up, Shelly, what's your favorite type of Oreo?
My favorite type of Oreo would be a basic Oreo, but the part that makes it the basic with the black, the chocolate. Is that chocolate? Doesn't taste like chocolate. It's the basic one, but it's got to be dunked in coffee. That's what makes it great for me. I could probably dunk an avocado Oreo in coffee and like it. Just putting that out there.
All right, we're going to move on now to Uzi.
Gudrid is dead.
Unpopular opinion.
Rocks fall and your character dies.
Yeah, I'll still let you tell people who you are, just so they know, who's behind this weirdness of the avocado Oreo.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
I am Shelly, and you can find me at Real Flea Monkey. Screw this up every time. On Twitter, Real Flea Monkey. See what I am up to. I'm not on there very much, but whatever. Tonight I'm playing Gudrid, and I am pretty psyched to have survived all 5 episodes with this cool crew. And maybe Gudrid needs these people. Who's to say? Maybe she actually does.
Oh. The next arc of Shadesong will be friends, and there'll be just you guys living in an apartment together in downtown, in downtown Segovia. That'd be funny. Speaking of funny and devastatingly handsome, the Scoos.
Whoa, that's hi.
What sort of?
I'm a little flustered there.
What sort of Oreo do you like, and what are your thoughts on charcoal?
I am a fan of the classic Oreo, normal stuff, normal cookies. I used to be a fan of the double stuff because I thought that's where it was at. But as I am growing older, I realized that the best part of an Oreo is not the cream filling. It's actually the cookie. Because that cookie can change textures. You can dip it in some milk. You can submerge it in milk for differing amounts of time to get different levels of sog and crunch.
You've really put
I'm
in
the
a lot of
Scoos
thought,
News.
right?
You can find me at Scooz News on Twitter. You can find me hanging out in the Guildsphere Discord. You can find me here on Thursday nights for a minute, and I'll be playing Byron, who's got a sweet bowl cut. Wait, I just remember he's got furs. Hat. He's got furs. He's got a bowl cut and a tricorn hat.
Yeah, he's definitely a fashion plate. Different levels of crunch and sog. Thanks so much for being here, Scooz. Appreciate you, man. All the time. Next up, speaking of crunch, the captain of the crunch himself, in the flesh, looking sharp and in charge. Dave, what's up?
Hey. Hi, how are you?
Oh, hanging out. So, but
Getting ready to play some games. I am just chilling with my friends on a Thursday night. You know how we do here at Guild Superior. I don't know what my favorite Oreo is, but I did recently learn that there is a candy corn Oreo, and I'm curious about that. Beth, come on.
Do you like regular candy corn? Are you one of those people?
Nope, hate it.
Good, because it's just bad.
The real question is, do they have brown Oreos?
You gotta be down with brown, right?
Is that like when you work for UPS?
Thought that wasn't going to make it into the episode, guys.
Yeah, I was promised that wasn't happening.
I was really excited for that.
Are we live right now?
Oh,
Mike's
shit.
hot. Yeah.
No, really? Our producer just told us that our mics are hot and we are live. My name's Dave, DM Dave, Dungeon Dave. I play games, produce games, run games here on Guild Superior, bring people together, get to play with my friends. I'm super excited to be here. Finale. One of many finales this week.
Yeah,
which is really cool. A lot of good stuff this week. So I am playing Agos, who is a Titan mage out of the Dragonbane book, which is fantastic, by the way. You got to get it. And he is an old timer. He is weak, frail, but man, does he pack some magical power. This guy can sling some spells. And so I'm hoping that I get to use all of my will points tonight on whatever you throw at us.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that those fireballs will be flying fast and furious. Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out, Dave, and being here. Appreciate you. And speaking of packing some serious magical power, Insomnia.
Hey,
man,
how's it going?
Does not sleep.
I mean, every now and then. But
every now and then.
Yeah. We're talking about the ASMR stuff. Rain can get me to sleep.
Nice. We should just have like rain in the background all the time when we game.
I feel like there wouldn't be much going on then. We'd be all calm, relaxed. And
no conflict.
We'd all just work things out with words.
Burn a little patchouli and, kind of be
sounds nice.
kicking back. Yeah. Speaking of patchouli, what kind of Oreo do you prefer?
I still like double stuffed Oreos because I am still a man child. Yeah, those are
Squid Boy.
They're in the not Squid Boy. That is Bleak.
I
don't know, man. Like
you guys could be easily mistaken for each other. I'm looking at my Zoom and one of you is on either side of me. I'm a little nervous.
We could probably be brothers.
You could be twins. Yeah, you could be brothers.
Let me go get a beanie and some glasses.
A toque.
Right. Well, I have my ball cap on tonight, but
gotcha.
My Ammon, I dress for the occasion. I have my Ammon Amarth shirt and my Ammon Amarth hat.
Nice.
Go Viking all the way.
Very
I never do that. I never ever wear the same merch twice because
I don't think you're supposed to go. You're not supposed to go full Viking.
Yeah, it's a faux pas. But tonight I was like, it's a finale.
Is that French?
Yep. It means first. So, it means faux pas? Yes. I'll explain to you later after, during the ASMR session. Who are you playing?
I am Halvar, the First Fallen,
a
Uten, and I am resurrected and happy to be alive and going to go murder some creature that you threw at us. Very exciting.
That's kind of like what a game master does. You make up creatures and you throw them at the players. Thank you so much, all of y'all, for hanging out, for being patient, and the chat also for being patient. since we didn't run a little late into this, a few quick shout outs, and then we will run this thing down. I'm Bleakseason, the Bleakseason, on Twitter. You can find me there, hanging out. I would like to thank Andy, my producer. We're happy to know that he's out of jail and has managed to find someone to come bail him out. And arrive here tonight. Andy's in the background pushing all the buttons and, making fun stuff happen. Tabletop Audio, also, our music, as always, gathered straight from the magical mind of Tabletop Audio. Check out their Patreon or even just their website. Get some free stuff. They got tons of really good sounds. No SMR, but still some pretty good background stuff for work into, and so on and so forth. Of course, a huge thanks, as always, to the Guild Superior, Miko and Ashley, the other producers here, the other people in the production team, and everyone who plays with us, hangs out with us, posts meme online, and has fun with us. Please come in and join us. There's room for everyone. And we like to meet new people and make new friends, and that's how we get these games going with a bunch of new friends. Our logo was made by Mr. Creep, which I don't know. I haven't gotten an update if he's got social networks up yet. I'll have to look into that, but we certainly appreciate Mr. Creep for his quick turnaround and his good work. And finally, this game is powered by the Dragonbane system, created by not originally created by Free League, but recently republished by Free League. It is awesome. If you have questions about it, feel free to hit me up. We've been thoroughly testing it. It's kind of deadly a little bit, but a lot of fun. It's kind of a little throwback system. Very light, very quick and easy, and we're having a ton of fun with it. So Dragonbane, check it out. All right. Without further ado, that's not French, Dave. We will dive into this. So when we last met our intrepid heroes, you had just returned from Kvitrov in the afterlife, bringing with you, because whenever you go on a trip somewhere, you want to bring back a memento, some souvenir. So you brought back First Fallen with you as your sort of souvenir from having gone to the afterlife, and you returned to confront your Jarl Calder about the fact that the person impersonating the Green Knight was a light Jotunbairn who had unfortunately died in an accident some years ago, and had harbored a grudge and wanted vengeance against basically society he felt had let him down, but not because he had died, but because his friend, who people assume had killed him, had been punished when he was in fact not guilty of this. And so being enraged thusly, he had incurred the attention of a Karakos, which is a sort of ancient spirit of anger that filled him with hate and motivated him to come and basically try to kill everybody by luring you into cutting off your links to Yggdrasil, and basically where everyone here would have basically died. And this turned out to be Calder's child from before his current marriage, and it's a child that he had not really paid much attention to, and he felt very regretful about that. But in talking about this, you confronted the Green Warrior, and the Karakos emerged from him. And just before we quit for the night, the Karakos had emerged from the skin of this young Jotunbairn and had killed with his tail the Vodruna, unfortunately to Aegos's chagrin, for she had a sweet spot for him. What happened in the few minutes following that is that you got to witness the power of the Karakos, where you saw it basically jump into people. It basically ran around and jumping into people and possessing different people and setting them to anger. And what you witnessed was almost sort of like the fruition of this whole prophecy you'd been hearing about brothers fighting brothers and fathers fighting sons and so on and so forth, as many of the villagers here being possessed by the Karakos became enraged and started fighting against the other villagers, and some of them had to be put down, so on and so forth. So in that melee, the Karakos somehow managed to evade everyone and get out of the village, but you spent quite a significant portion of the rest of the day just basically trying to calm people down, trying to save some lives, trying to protect some people. The ones that were possessed by the Karakos would rage for a good 15, 20, 30 minutes, and unless they were killed or sort of stopped and restrained for a while, they would just go on sort of rampaging. But after a while, they would sort of come back too. But the effect is that after a certain amount of time, there were a number of dead in the village. And it was very much like, as I said, looking at this sort of prophecy coming true of this time of strife where everyone was fighting everybody else. As the night has sort of come on now, and things have started to come down, and the injured are being tended to, and the bodies are sort of being removed, and people are sort of trying to make sense of what happened, and sort of, you know, helping each other out and trying to comfort each other, and so on and so forth. The Jarl has basically summoned a group of people, including all of you. You were up until this moment busy seeing to the proper handling, if you will, of Verduna's body as she was brought into a cold chamber to be preserved until such time as she could be given the proper funeral rites and all that. But there are so many dead and injured right now that, you know, other things have to be taken care of. While that was going on, Agos, you would have at some point noticed glinting in the snow the rune stones that the Vorduna had cast just before the Karakos had killed her. Would you go and see to them, try to pick them up, perhaps, or?
Absolutely. I'm going to hobble my way over and slowly bend down to scoop them up.
As you do that, for a moment, you're kind of surprised when you see them, because they appear to be completely blank. They appear to just be blank stones. And as you sort of approach them and reach out to grab them, you can see runes that start to flare to life, almost as if there's an inner light that is finally sort of activating as you approach them, and these runes start to appear. And while you've never really cast runes yourself, you know how to read runes, because obviously you're a researcher and you're a learned man, or a learned Jotun, or Titan rather. And as you see these rune stones sort of activating and lighting up in front of you, the message they are conveying becomes very clear to you. And the message they are conveying is this: a dangerous path. Tarry not, enter not, descend not.
Tarry not, enter not, descend not.
Yeah. You have no clue what it's referencing or what it means, but the meaning of them is very clear. And you know how runes can have several different meanings, but there's no, when you see these, like, this just sort of springs into your mind, like it's very clear. This is what these runes are telling you.
Will you tell it one more time what they say?
A dangerous path. Tarry not, enter not, descend not.
After I take that in, I will scoop them up and brush off any debris or anything. There's
a little bit of blood and snow on them. You can rub them, and with the water from the snow, you can rub off the blood. They feel warm and alive in your hands.
Is that Svalda's blood?
Yeah, very likely, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Take a moment as I do that, and I'll kind of wipe the blood off on my pantaloons, and then slowly stand up.
If you'll attend me, the Jarl is saying, motioning to the group of you. As you approach him, and I'll tell you what the runestones do in a minute. Dave, I'll copy paste it over. The Jarl calls you over, and he says, I fear that if we don't run the Caracos to ground, what happened today will just be the first of many such instances. I know I've already asked a lot of you, and as he's speaking, you see that he's putting on some furs, and he's got like a wooden shield and a wooden hammer there next to him that he's kind of prepping. If you would, I would call on you one more time to help me track it down, find it, kill it to avenge our people, and ensure that its curse cannot spread further than our village here. May I count on you one more time?
Gudrid
Yes.
is standing up very tall now, hearing the word tracking. Yes, absolutely, we will track this. We will conquer this Caracos.
He reaches up and you see he's got like a bunch of silver arm rings on both arms, and he starts pulling some of them off. And you know that traditionally arm rings are given as a sign of, as an honorific. Basically, a leader will give his followers arm rings to denote that they've done something worthwhile or meaningful. And he will pull off a number of them from his arms, and he will hand you, each of you, one arm ring. And he'll say, this is for recompense for everything you have done so far, but I hope that it will at least signify the importance of the task that you're doing for the village now. And he hands each of you one of these arm rings. We can speak further of recompense once we've accomplished this, but I feel that we should make all due haste, as this thing appears to be very fleet of foot and quite supernatural in its capabilities. Gudrid, you're a hunter. Do you know anything of these Caracos?
I know how to track one.
Very well.
I'm happy to give it a try, and I'm tugging up on the silver arm ring, getting it right up there as she's saying that. I will get started immediately if that is what you would like.
It is, and his wife comes over and brings a couple of backpacks and goes, I've had some things prepared for our journey, and you'll open up these bags and you can grab some of the bags, and there's like a bunch of different gear and stuff that you might need out in the wilderness. So the rings that he gave you are rings of protection, and they give each of you a +2 armor.
Oh, yes.
While you wear them. There are also in the bags enough potions for each of you to have a potion that'll heal 2d4 + 4. So you can have each one of these. Agos, the rune stones, as you sort of carry them on you and you start to understand how they function, you can use them as a reaction. You can cast them. And for 3 willpower, once per day, you can undo an action that has just happened. I.e., it gives you foresight of it, and so you can react to something that has just happened as if it hadn't happened yet. I'm sorry, but
That's
I need
pretty
to.
badass.
That's fucking great.
That's really good.
Holy shit.
I might get to save your life again.
Byron is notably not putting on the ring.
Interesting. The Jarl's not going to comment on that, but if anybody else wants to, you're free to do so.
Yes.
Hades is drawing hers up there, and she'll sort of nudge Byron. What are you afraid it's not going to be able to make it over your muscles?
No, it's a traditional sign of duty or allegiance, and I don't really feel any of that towards this person anymore. Would
Fair.
you like it?
No.
I guess
No,
I'll
I don't-
keep it.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have. You don't have to do anything with it.
Hey, guys, can I put it in your bucket?
Yes, there's plenty of room here in this bucket. I've had this bucket for quite some time. It's a good bucket.
Drop the Thane's, or sorry, the Jarl's ring into the bucket and look at the Jarl, kind of cheekily.
The Jarl answers you by picking up his shield and his hammer. If we're all ready. And then he'll look at Gudrid. Where are we going, Gudrid?
Give me a minute. So I get down, I do my Monster Hunter thing where I'm flat on the ground and I start spinning my bone dagger around my head. And I'll spend the 3 will points.
And you get a clear sense that the creature has moved towards the northeast, which means the northern reach, which is a valley that sits between a series of mountains on either side, and goes off into the forest. Where in there it is, you don't know. You know that's your general direction. You'll have to do this again along the way to get more concrete information. But so I'll invite you to take a quick look at the map. As you set off towards the northeast, basically away, sort of diagonally away from where Yggdrasil is, you find yourselves entering into the mountains. The way is not excessively arduous, except at this time of year normally there will not be as much snow as there is. But as soon as you enter down here at the bottom, you find, as soon as you kind of get into the area, you can feel a storm start to pick up. There's a wind that picks up and starts whipping snow about, and the sky gets overcast, and it definitely has a feeling of being unnatural, as it was just, fairly clear skies just before you sort of approached it, and this started very just suddenly. And you are, by this point, sort of late into the night. You will walk into this forest of the northern reach for a little while. You'll make about perhaps 15 kilometers in, which means that by the time you... Hey, thank you, Hooli, bringing in your hooligans. We appreciate it. We love hooligans. We try to be hooligans, but we're not that tough. So it's always fun to have real hooligans around. Thanks, Oli. So you will walk into the northern reach. You'll get about 15 kilometers in, which means you'll the first night you will reach around where the tower is. Now, basically, for every 15 or so kilometers that you're going to travel, you're going to need to have some rations to eat. You will get to around here, and you will make a bit of a first camp for a few hours, enough to regain your willpower that you've lost, and anything else. And then you'll sleep for like the remainder of the night, sort of thing. And then early in the morning, when the sun starts to peek out again, you'll be ready to start your trek in full. You will, I do believe that you have a map, I think, 80s. So you will unfurl the map of the area here as you know it. And there are a number of places of interest which are noted on this map. I would invite you to ask questions at this point as you start trying to figure out how best to navigate in here.
Well, Gudrid, you're the expert. I mean, what does this look like to you? What do you think we need to be doing?
What I've done has gotten us this far. I will need to fine-tune again tomorrow. get a better idea of where we're headed.
Well, you could do a bushcraft roll. You could start by doing a bushcraft roll just to sort of get a general idea of the lay of the land and sort of what some of these places are. What places are dangerous and which ones are not.
I will use my ancestral skinning knife and get a boon on bushcraft before we go to sleep, because it's once per day.
Nice.
So, a 6 and an 11. I think those the 6 works.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
So you know this place a little bit for having run around here. You know that most of the places that are indicated on the map are places that, for the most part, are places known to be somewhat dangerous. The Howling Cave is said to be infested with ghosts and spirits of the restless dead. The White Fang Woods is said to be a place where a group of Yetis live. The Forvanga Lake and Village actually is a very nice little fishing village. There is a healer who lives there. So if you made it out there, you could probably find some support there. If this thing is looking for a place with people, it is one of 2 places in this area where there are people. The Forvanga Village. After that, you have Unferth's Folly. So there is up at the top, there is the ruins of a place called the Quiet Place. There used to be a village there that was cursed a very long time ago for the actions of its inhabitants and its Jarl. And when the place was cursed, the nature itself struck back against them, and there was this huge ground shake, and it ripped apart the ground, as you can see here, all the way down into this sort of crevice area here, and it created a giant avalanche that basically just completely eradicated the village up there. Further up, all the way up to the north, there's a place called Hell's Mouth. It is a cave that is said to lead into the underworld, into a place where those who die having been criminals and, generally bad people in real life go. But of course, that's just, myth, right? The Black Lodge is said to be a lodge of satyr women, so magic women who live there. They're supposed to be worshippers of some sort of strange religion where they worship the nothingness. So in the history of in the Jotun history, the way the world was created in the beginning, there was nothing. There was just this void, and then the fires of Muspelheim and the ice of Niflheim came together in the middle, and where they touched each other and exploded, it's where it created the world. Well, they believe in going back to before the creation of the world, worshiping this sort of emptiness and sort of shedding notions of wanting things and having dreams and desires and just being satisfied with existing. They're a little bit strange, not necessarily bad or evil, just kind of strange. And finally, we have here Unferth's Folly, which apparently someone named Unferth at some point took it upon himself to build some form of wooden platform that traverses some of these crevices. So that's one way to move up north. It's very hard to see on the map. There are a few guard towers. Most of them now are empty. They were there back in the day. There may be people there still. There may not. And over here, it's hard to see because it's very small on the map. But over here, there are stairs that are cut into the side of the mountain that allow you to climb up if you wish, called the Goat's Pass. Over here, Hod's Cut is basically a little cut through the mountain that traverses over to the village. And there is a bridge up here that goes across this area. So that is the lay of the land. You can... there's no real need right now to do your monster hunting thing, but whenever you want to do it, you can. All right. So you're going to set out that first day. So you're around here right now. It's quite cold. The wind's howling, and there's always just this sort of starting up, threatening kind of storm that's kind of happening. You need to make a bushcraft roll every 15 miles or so, just to make sure that everyone's keeping warm, everyone's keeping around. You only need to make one. If everyone has furs or a blanket, you get to make that roll with advantage. If someone doesn't, then you don't. Okay? So it'll take you about 6 hours the first day to get sort of around here, just at the edge of the forest here. So someone go ahead and make a bushcraft roll, and let's see how you fare with that. Does everyone have furs or a blanket?
Yes.
All right, so you can make it with advantage, and you can go ahead and mark off a ration, everyone, on your gear.
If anyone did not bring rations, I have some extra.
I do too, yeah.
Who's making the bushcraft roll?
Gudrid wins.
You gonna do it?
Nose goes.
I can do it. I didn't know if the hand was you wanted to do it or. Here we go.
So you're
You
making
go
it with
for it.
advantage because everyone's got furs and all that.
I did not make it with either one. A 12 and a 16.
All right, so
It's so cold.
regardless of the fact that you have furs and blankets, and the fact that Gudrid is supposedly this renowned bushcraft person, you find yourself suffering throughout the day of cold and exposure, as this storm is obviously not natural, and there's almost nothing you can do to keep warm. You're like just trying to huddle together. You'd have to stop and build a shelter and get some fire, but you don't want to stop. So what is happening to you now is that all of you, because you have failed this thing, will lose 1d6 hit point and 1d6 willpower.
Shoot.
This is a nasty storm.
Um,
I have a
We
boon.
roll that?
Yeah, I have one boon written down on my sheet that I think we got. Is it worth it? Should I use it? Are we hurting?
I don't know.
So what's
That's
going to
a lot,
happen
right?
with this, because now you're cold, as you travel, you will not be able to heal those until you actually get to like a place where you can go inside, build a fire, spend a shift resting in a warm place. As long as you stay outside, even if you make your other bushcraft rolls, you're not going to be able to heal these. So if you want to re-roll the bushcraft roll, that's probably not a bad idea. But, you know, like I said, you could find some shelter at some point, and
Yeah, we need shelter.
I mean, there's that howling cave, but it's infested. That's not. Is that?
I don't like that.
That's shelter. I'm gonna do the roll. I
you're gonna
feel
redo
like
it?
I have failed you guys, and I don't like that.
You haven't. It's terrible out here.
I had a friend once whose name was Leomund, and he had this magic where he could build a hut, and it was quite useful. I wish I would have studied with Leomund.
He was renowned
Would
for
be
his little hut. Did you
I made it. I got a 5
okay.
and a 9.
All right.
I've actually made it twice.
Nice. All right. So, on second thought, it's not as cold as it appeared to be.
It's okay.
As you're moving north, and suddenly someone goes, "What if we walked in the forest? Would it cut down on the wind a little bit?" And Gudrid goes, "Oh yes, good idea." And then you know get out of the wind corridor and into the forest, and the trees protect you somewhat. So you do manage to make it by the end of the day. to a place where you can sort of set up a camp just on the edge of the forest. You do have the cave there, but you could also do your roll to see if you can sort of track the thing. But the cave is there. So what are you thinking? Do you want to set up your tents and kind of pitch a tent out here in the woods? Do you want to try to go into that cave? What do you want to do?
I don't think the cave is such a good idea.
It's not the place to rest. Hey, we could get lucky, but it's infested and it could really ruin our night.
Are ghosts really a thing?
Freezing to death could ruin our night too.
Yes, infested.
Well, what is in the cave? What are we afraid of?
Ghosts?
These are ghosts, right?
Ghosts.
That was what
Ghosts.
We came from the underworld. We came from death.
Yeah, but
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
I'm just gonna gesture at Halvar, first follow it, and say, we brought a ghost back with us.
that is fair.
Well, but it's Helvar. These are not all Helvars in here.
Oh, how do you know? Maybe it is all Helvars in the cave.
What if it was?
Whoa. Okay, now I'm feeling like the cave is a good idea.
Boulder will say, well, this is perhaps a point where I would normally turn to my Voldruna to answer this question, but perhaps, Agos, you can give us some indication of...
Her name was Falda.
This is where I would normally turn to Svalda and ask
Thank you.
for counsel. Perhaps, Agos, you can provide counsel for us.
I'll
whether or not
roll
we
the
should
bones.
enter. Well, as you grab the bones, you are reminded of the thing that they've told you already.
Ah, yes. I have it in my memory.
As he pulls a piece of paper out.
A dangerous path. Tarry not. Enter not. Descend not. So, entering could refer to caves? Possibly.
I mean, that basically means just don't do anything.
Well, don't go down. Don't go in.
Down. Oh, in.
And don't dilly-dally.
Okay.
Don't go in, though. That could, I mean, Byron is right. That could mean anything. That could be the village. That could be the lodge. I mean,
It very
how do we
much limits us.
how do we know what that means?
You know what? First thing they said, don't dilly-dally. Let's make a decision right now. Yes or no to the cave?
I, for one, would like to see a bunch of First Fallens.
Okay, that's one yes for the cave. Any
The
other
cave.
yeses?
For the cave.
All right, we've got 2 yeses for the cave.
Caller says, I say we stay out. I've put a lot of faith in the stones in my life, and they've very seldom led me astray.
Then I definitely
have-
want to go in the cave.
I would have to agree with the Jarl, I think. Perhaps we continue moving.
Everybody looks at First Fall.
50-50.
we could split the party.
Yes, let's do that. Half of you stay in a ghost cave. Rest of us will just chill, literally.
80s is kidding. That is not at all what... Right? You're kidding.
Yeah,
Perhaps-
sorry.
Okay,
Gudrid, perhaps you could take a look around and see if we have any indication where the beast went that might be helpful in making the decision.
All right, I will do that. We'll get down on the ground again, pull out the bone dagger, start doing my spin. And I'll do like a little bit of a chant too. I think I'm starting to feel like that helps.
And as she's doing that, her chant seems to be picked up on the wind. And as the wind is coming down through the valley, it seems to sort of dive in and sort of enter the cave there. And as it comes back out, you can hear a definite sort of low moaning sound that's echoing what Gudrid is doing. Gudrid, your ability tells you that the creature's much further to the north still.
It's quite a ways still. And it's
Okay.
this, and I'll point like over that cliff, like it's straight over that way, I believe.
Okay. Well, I'm not very experienced with this. I think if the stones are telling us not to do something, maybe we should listen to them?
I would agree, but they're so vague.
Well, let's continue forward then. Standing here in the cold is just going to get us sick and other things.
Do not dilly-dally, the bones said. The runes
And
yes,
other
yes.
things. Well, you press on then for another shift. Please, bushcraft again.
Gudrid,
Somebody else?
do it.
I could try this time.
Okay.
All right.
There goes.
It's just a straight D20 roll, right?
Yeah. You
Yep.
do it with advantage as people have furs and such.
Okay. Advantage. I have a pretty good bushcraft score. Yeah. I got a 2, so I'm doing well.
Hey.
All right, so
Nice.
mark off another set of rations. As you push on another 15 kilometers, you arrive in that area, and as you come out of the forest and come around that first sort of bend, you see the steps that are carved into the mountainside that lead up to the plateau on top. Now, going up top to the plateau basically means that the left-hand side of the map is going to be very difficult for you to access. But staying down here means that you're going to have to find a way to get across either at Unfirth's Folly or Hod's Cut if you want to continue moving on after that, depending on where you want to go. So as you sort of set up here for the night, putting up your tents and building a little fire, feeling fairly confident as you haven't seen tracks of animals and so on and so forth, the Howling Cave tends to keep a lot of the fauna away around here. You settle down to have a meal and build a little fire, and you're faced with this particular decision. The Jarl himself seems to be very absorbed in his own thoughts, and you kind of have gotten the sense over the past day that you've been traveling with him that he kind of feels that, of course, guilt and that a lot of this is his doing, and you kind of feel that he's hesitant to want to give you orders as if he perhaps feels he doesn't deserve to anymore. I mean, if you press him, he'll certainly do it. But he seems to be content with accepting the wisdom of the group in general rather than imposing his will at this point. So as you sit there, finally around a fire and getting a bit of food in before you turn in for the night, you have that decision that lays ahead of you. You can go up those stairs and find yourself on that plateau, but that pretty much will bar the left-hand side of the map to you. If you go to the other side, you'll have to either cross at Unfirth's Folly or at Hod's Cut to get to Fort Vanga. And while that does not prevent you from coming back to the right-hand side, it will make it difficult, especially if you take Hod's Cut the only way. So you have a decision to make, and you can still do rolls and use your powers if you want to try and ascertain where the thing is, this, that, the other. Like, it's totally up to you, but you should have a bit of that discussion now, because if you want to use the stairs, then in the morning that's where you will go.
Has anybody taken damage from the exposure yet? We're good on
No,
that, right?
you manage with the bushcraft rolls
Yeah.
that you've gotten. You've managed to sort of survive. You
Okay.
now have a bit of shelter as you're up against this rocky escarpment here. The winds kind of died down, so you're okay for the night. You've built your fire and put up your tents, and you're going to be okay for the night.
And one of us has the map, correct?
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay, so you have a map. All right.
Yeah, so you can pretty much see what's on the map there on your map.
Well, Gudrid, you said that you felt that it was due north. Is that
So the
kinda-
reading, the reading that you got, just I'll give you. This is what I'll do here. I'll say that your reading so far hasn't been super, I don't know, useful, I guess I'll say. You're basically getting the notion that it's somewhere up there. That's from your reading at the Howling Cave. You are closer now. Another reading may give you a more precise-ish location if you want to attempt one for another 3 willpower. But right now, north of you is the best you've gotten because of how far you were.
I think it would benefit us for me to do this as much as I can. It could be moving too. It's hard to say. It doesn't. It's not going to affect us at all in a bad way if I do it again right now. We're only going to learn more.
You're our only indication of where this thing is going.
Yeah.
I don't know Karakos's patterns.
I think it's more of she is a fine tracker.
Well, thank you. I've never tracked one of these before.
The follow. I think we're being followed.
You're being followed. Thank you, Tale of the Manticore, for the following.
There's a Manticore following us?
Yeah, there is a Manticore.
Manticore.
Just the tail, though. Just the tail.
Just the tail of a manticore.
Is this sort of, this disembodied tail that's just kind of
Oh
falling?
God.
That's all we see through the snow is just the tail.
Yeah. So someone was saying you could hunt. Yeah, you could hunt instead of using your rations if you want. It'll require a bushcraft roll, but you can do that if you want.
Gudrid is happy to also bring the meats. I got the impression around the Howling Cave that there weren't a lot of creatures because of the ghosts and stuff. But as soon as we start seeing tracks in the snow, I would like to start trying to provide for the group by bringing the meats.
Okay, so we'll say that starting tomorrow morning, you'll be out and about hunting. So when you do your bushcraft roll for survival, you can make an extra one at the same time for your hunting.
Okay.
So are you doing your monster hunting thing again?
Yep, down on the ground. I get away from the group a little bit just in case it, interference.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like to be watched.
And Agos, you can feel free to roll the runes also. They may tell you something new or they may not. You never know, but that's something that you have now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Agos would utilize the runes almost daily, or at periods of time when it seemed appropriate to help guide us to the, to make sure that we don't go down the wrong path, to give us an indication of the safer route, that kind of thing.
Okay, so you can make your magical skill. I don't remember what it's called, but your
my elementalism.
Yeah,
skill.
you can make an elementism roll whenever you want to throw the bones. We'll say that once a day is fine.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, Gudrid, now that you're a little bit closer, you do manage to get a bit of a better reading. You do get a sense that it's moving. But you manage now to sort of isolate it. Like this.
Okay, we'll definitely let the party know. I wonder if it's going to the village.
Bleak, I rolled under my elementalism. So I don't know if that helps to narrow it down or give us an indication or what that would tell us.
It will tell you that it'll repeat what it said earlier, but it will just say this time, it'll say a useless path, descend not.
Wait, say that one more time. A useless path.
A useless path, descend not.
I'll mention that to the group. And does this mean something to you, Gudrid? Does this, based on your knowledge of the tracks and the path, does this help?
Does that help? Does that make me think of the way down? Like if we went up the stairs, we'd have to come back down somewhere else. Does that seem like that might be reasonable?
It's possible, yeah. That if you have to descend, it would be a wasted trip. It would be a useless path if you have to descend somewhere.
Meaning maybe we don't go up?
That might be the best option.
So we could go to Hod's Cut through there.
At least make our way towards it and see, if we can get any other information as we get closer.
Sounds
I mean,
reasonable.
The stairs are right here, so tomorrow morning our option would be to either go up or go straight.
You have to come down.
Yeah,
Right,
we haven't made
right.
a climb, so let's just stick down here in the valley.
Yeah.
I think that's the right choice.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyone want to do anything else before you find a warm spot to go to sleep in?
I think on the way to finding a camp spot, Byron's gonna kind of hang out with Agos a little bit in silence, kind of out of respect for his recent loss. But at one point, I think he'll look down and he'll, or not down. It's not down. Just like, I guess he's a little wizened. Agos, you got these runes from the Voldruna.
Spalda is her name.
Spalda, yes. Whose authority do they represent?
Well, I am no seer, but they do have a sense of power that is of the weave, a power that is not wielded, but is granted. But I do not know exactly what magics infuse these bones, but they do speak.
Yeah, they do. They do. I wonder who's speaking through them.
Can I hear this conversation?
I don't know. Are you guys making sure no one can hear? Or?
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to be like secret.
Okay.
I'm just like we're marching.
Gotcha. I'm just curious.
Walk and talk.
Byron, is there something that you would like to ask the bones?
Byron's eyes go wide for a second. Now, I guess this is a question to the DM. Did these bones? Would Byron know that the Voldruna would speak on behalf, or in any capacity? Is the vase here connected to the things that are speaking through these bones?
No. The
Norns,
the powers that would fuel something like that would be greater powers. They would be universal powers beyond the gods, because in Norse mythology, the gods are just other beings that live in this world. They're not like omnipotent creators of everything. They're just other things that live in the world. They just happen to, have power. So no, this would come from the universe, from nature, for whatever you want, or from the Voldruna themselves. But no, they wouldn't be God given.
Perfect. Great. Cool. Thank you. Just gonna look down. I don't know. I wonder a great many things lately, but I don't know The last time that I trusted the answers that were given to me by some greater power. I don't have any questions right now. Agos.
Very well. If that changes, Byron, don't hesitate to ask, and we shall see if the bones speak to us. Speak to you.
He's going to put his hand on your shoulder. Thank you, my friend.
I'm glad you're here. He'll just walk away.
As you do, Agos, you feel your crystal shiver slightly.
Oh boy.
Not.
I'm gonna look around. I mean, if it's kind of my spidey sense is tingling. I'm gonna look around just to see if I see anything weird.
Aside from the people you're with, no.
So a lot of weirdness.
You're surrounded by weirdness.
Okay. I'll grip the crystal and just kind of squeeze it in my hand.
Anybody else?
Gudrid is gonna look around for 80s, see what she's up to.
She's doing some leather working. She appears to be a case of some sort.
She'll be sitting with her Scald's book open, just sort of staring at, you can see like her handwriting, like sort of chicken scratch on like a half-filled page, and she's just sort of staring at it, I guess.
Well, Gudrid will come over and sit by her and just sit quietly for a while, because Gudrid knows better than to interrupt mad genius. But when
yeah, it, like after just a little bit, she'll sort of snap out of it. You did really well today. I say that like it's a surprise. It's not, but
well,
I think we're faring as well as we are because of you. So thank you.
Thank you for saying that. I felt as though perhaps I faltered a bit at the beginning, and luckily was able to regain my abilities. So far, so good. But I didn't come here to talk about myself. I saw that you were very into. I don't see you go into the zone quite this for such a duration too often.
Yeah.
Do you have a great poem that you're working on? I'd love to hear it.
Oh gosh, not exactly. Well, I guess sort of.
Yes, tell us songs.
Oh no. No, I heard of part of a poem. That's sort of an old story, and there's a portion of this poem that was never finished. And I keep getting feelings like I know more of it, and I feel like I'm so close, and I don't know how it's happening. It just happens, and I feel, I don't know, I get excited when I write, and that's really great, but this feels different. This is I can't stop thinking about it.
This is a lost poem, but you are remembering it? It is originally your poem?
No, it's a poem by Snorri, an old skull, and he got hit in the head before he was able to finish his poem, and that sounds absurd, but it's what happened, and I've been getting just lines here and there, and I feel like basically the last parts of the poem that he had said, heed these last words, and then it never finished. So how do we heed the words if we don't know what the words are? And it talks about the coming of Fimbulwinter and the Dreadwolf and the age of the dying of the light, and that all seems to be getting closer and closer. And if there's some sort of answer to any of this, something that could be helpful, I don't know why I would figure this out, but I feel it every once in a while, and it's exhilarating.
Don't sell yourself short. You are wonderful. Of course it would come to you.
Well, thank you.
How often has it been increasing recently with all of the weird things that have been going on with us? Or
it's I mean, I guess I caught sort of the last bit of it the other day, and it's like I feel a song on the wind, and it just pops into my head. So I don't know when it's coming. I don't know if it's because we're getting close to something or if it's completely random, but I would really like to know what this is about.
Well, let us hear it.
Yeah.
Well, so
I am very interested in this.
don't pressure the genius. I turned to everyone.
I am
In
not
due
trying
time.
to pressure anyone. I wish to hear her sing of the legends.
I will not be singing, but me personally, I will not be singing. So basically, the story that's told is that there are 2 lines left. And I guess I got the first, but the section of this poem that comes before, it says, and heed these last words which contain the answer to the coming of the Fimbulwinter, the Dreadwolf, and the age of the dying of the light. In the moment of the light's passing, one need only look to, and then that's it. That's all I have. And it keeps getting closer and closer to finishing, and yet I'm left with nothing. And so
In the moment of the lights passing, and then it stops.
in the moment of the light's passing, one need only look to
It seems like an important omission.
I know. I mean, you can't fault the guy. He got bopped on the head and he just keeled over, but
Well,
it
let's
seems
certainly
important.
protect your head. I think you're onto
Thank you.
something here.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, but I'm staying open to listening. And if it comes to me, then hopefully I'll hear it.
Gudrid is right, though. Don't sell yourself short. You've traveled into the realm of death and returned.
This is true.
Someone
many
must
have done
tell
that.
our story.
Well,
Someone must sing our deeds. It certainly won't be me.
If I make it out of here alive, I'll certainly do that. At the very least, I've been keeping sort of a written history and some songs and poems about our adventures. So, worst case, maybe someone will find my book.
Do not
80s.
doubt our odds.
No, I honestly,
80s.
I feel pretty good about this. Yeah. I mean,
Me too.
it's just a Karakos, right?
We
Not that
feel
big of
good
a-
about hunting a legendary beast. Yeah, that checks out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just a
Stamp his
legendary
hammer to the ground.
demon from the beyond. We have this.
But think about what we've done so far. I mean, this is obviously it's huge and dangerous, but I mean, I think Gudrid's on the right track. We shouldn't sell ourselves short with all that we've done. Maybe we'll do it. Hopefully we'll do it. I think we
We
can
will
do it.
do it.
We will do it.
Okay.
There's
Or
no
die
room
trying.
for doubt. The runes said, do not tarry. Do not hesitate. Do not dilly-dally. All of those things.
I will not dilly-dally.
I have faith in you all.
Well, thank you.
What's it like
Gudrid
being alive
will-
again? I'm sorry.
No, go
sorry.
ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go.
No,
No, please.
No, you. You,
No,
please.
No, I insist.
Everyone's
After you.
no, please, you.
No. Is there some ale?
We were in a bit of a hurry. I couldn't refill my stock.
Oh. Boo.
Hades, you don't have anything left, do you?
I don't think I do. Let me double check.
I mean, I gave you 2, and I look at First Fallen and Byron. I gave you the last that we had, and that was something else, wasn't it?
It was delicious and amazing and much appreciated.
There's
I only
snow
have
angels
healing
all over
potions.
Frostheim.
That could be the name of your company, Snow Angels.
Oh no.
No?
Oh.
No? Okay.
I don't know.
That would be the
dangerous.
flavor of one of the drinks.
That'll
They'll
be
think
the,
we're selling a different product.
That's true.
And on that note, you all find your way inside your tents. Some of you are sharing. Agos, I believe, is sleeping on top of First Fallen in his tent. Or maybe you have different sleeping arrangements. The next morning, when you awake, you will begin moving. You have decided not to go up the goat's pass. So you will travel another good bit of the way. We'll say to around here. So go ahead and first give me a bushcraft roll for the not dying from the frost. The cold is intensifying. It is getting worse the further up you go. It's not affecting the roll yet, but you have a sense that it may start causing you trouble. But for now, you're still rolling at advantage with the furs and everyone's little.
I indicate to Agos if he wants to do it again.
Oh,
You
very
did
well.
so well the last time. I was actually very impressed.
You can do a bushcraft roll for hunting if you want,
Oh yeah.
whilst that is going on.
Well, you put your faith in me, Gudrid, and I totally botched it. I rolled a 19.
Oh no.
You're rolling with advantage, though, right? Because
Oh.
everyone's got furs and such.
Haha.
Just kidding. I nailed it with a 5.
Amazing.
Nailed it!
Nailed it!
I also nailed it with the hunting.
All right,
Nice.
so you don't have to spend rations to eat, as while Agos is trying to figure if he's nailed it or botched it. Gudrid manages to kill something that looks kind of like a reindeer, I guess, and brings it to you. You are now on the edge of the White Fang Woods. You know that there are supposedly yetis, which are quite ferocious, that inhabit the White Fang Woods. If you wish to head to Hodscut, you would have to cut through the White Fang Woods. The other option is to go further north and attempt Unferth's Folly, that wooden platform that crosses over the chasm that has been ripped up there. You can, if you wish, make some rolls if you want to roll the bones and or use your monster hunting ability to see if you get any sort of further help.
I will definitely monster hunt. Get down and do the thing again.
Okay. Are you rolling them bones, Agos?
Back when I was alive, the Yetis were nice. What has happened?
Well, my bones lie. I rolled high.
Take that into consideration. as they don't actually lie to you, but when you cast them, there are no runes that appear on them.
Ooh.
You throw them out, and they land, and you see a brief flash, but then when you look at them again, there is nothing on them.
That's really cool and super disturbing.
Meanwhile, you doing your monster tracking thing. You get, being up here, you get a little bit of a better read.
Oh,
This is unexpected.
it's a much better read. It's from like half the map to like, oh.
Little pizza
Well,
slice.
Unfortunately, it's sort of like halfway between both, so
Yeah.
It
do have a
could be
decision
on the move. Also, remember.
see, there was.
Yeah.
I saw a Yeti. There was a Yeti there.
That was just a Yeti child, small
Yeti
one.
child. They're very dangerous.
Only when unfed.
Like chihuahuas.
So, oh no.
Call back.
So as you
The
sit
worst
there,
familiar.
you are now faced with you are feasting on reindeer. Blitzen, you think. And you must make a decision now whether you will cross into Whitefang Woods and then through Hod's Cut to Fort Vanga, or follow Unferth's Folly and then go up north through the Quiet Place.
I mean,
And honestly, this is where the bones would have been so good, but they farted.
they did that.
Can we
Honestly,
not
fart.
reach the quiet place through Hod's Cut to the village?
Yeah, you could do that also, yeah.
Could
Because we're
Then
not
you would
supposed
have to
to-
go up.
If,
And you're
Well,
going
but if-
up.
It looks like if we go through Hod's Cut and make our way around the lake, we'd still be at the same elevation without having to ascend and then descend, as before we were told not to descend.
And to add to that, if I may, if we survive the Whitefang Woods, which I feel good about, we get to the village, perhaps there's a warm place to get a meal quick and warm our weary bones for a second before we head off to our final fate.
That might be the best
Agreed.
bet. We'd really be
Um,
on our own if we followed the folly.
I'm feeling pretty good about the Yetis myself.
I mean, folly is right in the name.
I know. Yeah.
So, you know,
Who named these places?
I'm intrigued by the folly. It's a bridge over a chasm.
well, we could split
Let's
up.
split the party.
Let's split. Okay, so we each.
Yeah.
I will go alone.
Yes. Yeah. I think that we should go see some Yetis. How big are they compared to us as Jotunbaron and Titans?
They're about your size.
Okay. See, I'm not worried.
But
No,
we're
one
big.
One Yeti is absolutely not a problem, but when you run into a family, it gets ugly.
Family stuff. I get it.
You can make, if you want, you have a skill to tell you something. You have beast lore, right? You can make a beast lore roll if you want. Anyone who
I
has
have
it,
that too. I'm gonna do that.
go ahead.
Be slow,
I'm not gonna
be
go well.
slow.
And it's just a straight roll, right? There's
Yeah.
no. Oof. Byron's Folly. No, that's a 17.
Could I? I've got an ability where I can. It's my intuition. I can spend some willpower points, and
If you want.
I can ask you directly for a helpful answer. It's just representing my general knowledge and should only aid in your decision making, not reveal everything there is to know.
Oh,
So-
don't worry, I'll make it hard on you. But sorry, did
Oh,
you
yeah.
make a beast lore roll, Gudrid?
No, I was going to let the party shine, but I can definitely pull out the
No, that's
ancestral
what I was saying.
skinning knife.
Anyone who's got beast lore can make a roll.
I'm gonna go for it as well.
Okay, go for it. And I'll get to your thing in a moment. 80s.
This seems important. I'm going to use my auto success with my ancestral skinning knife on beast lore.
Okay. As
I won't even roll.
as you use this, you feel the voice of who is it that taught you how to hunt? Was it your mother,
My
your
auntie.
father, your auntie? You hear her voice coming to you as if on the wind, and whispering to you, "Come on, Gudrid, you know this. We've been over this 1,000 times if we've been over it once." And Agos, you will also have basically the same knowledge as this. The danger with the Yetis is that they're very difficult to see if you happen to be in a snowy area. They will generally just kind of lie there and wait for people to stumble upon them. If they are in a family, they're extremely dangerous. There can be up to 4 or 5 of them at a time. They are extremely dangerous. They can track you for a very long distance if they smell blood. And they are very much afraid of fire.
Agos. You're our
feel
point
like-
man.
Yeah, if I could do some good here, if they give us trouble.
Well, could we maybe not fight them, but if we hunt and perhaps bring them an offering?
And on that, as he mentions that, actually, 80s, one of the stories that you remember reading was about the fact that creatures like this that are semi-sentient that live in the forest, one tend to display behavior that we associate with sentient creatures, which is, like, for example, living in a family and guarding their youngs and so on and so forth, and having a family unit, for example, is one of these things. And that they generally, even though they are dangerous and they are, when they're on their hunt or attack, they generally hunt to feed. And there is an old story about a village that used to be sort of under siege by this Yeti that would come through every night and would take away a small child. And the villagers sort of got all up in arms and got ready to go and hunt down this Yeti. And when they went into the forest and found its lair, they realized that the Yeti was capturing these children because the only food source the Yeti had was through a small hole that led up through the cave, and only the children could climb up through there to go up and bring him down the food that he needed. And so this idea that possibly offering them food if you do come across them, scaring them with fire would just agitate them, perhaps, but...
Okay. Well, I'll relay all of that to the group. I mean...
And thank you, Pixie Lady, for the advantages to Gudrid and Agos.
Ayo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Halvar, you might be right. Maybe we should provide an offering.
As I said, yes, they were a bit burn in our face, but they never attacked us outright. It was normally looking for food, and which out here, and it's always been cold and wintry, and we all need to survive. So if we ever needed to pass through, we just bring them something that we had.
I can go try to hunt another creature.
Yeah, that
as an
awesome.
offering.
I don't have much to offer them personally.
It would be preferable to scorching them with fireballs, but we could.
I mean, you know what?
Roll with
It goes, if it comes down to it, you just unleash hell.
It will do.
No, I'm not opposed to you cooking them, and I've never tried Yeti before.
Yeti brisket?
Yeti Oreos.
Yeti burgers.
Yeti burgers. Yeti Oreo. What is an Oreo?
So it's strange. It's food from the human lands. You wouldn't want to eat it. It's disgusting. Give me then another hunting roll. So give me another bushcraft roll. If
Okay.
anyone's going to help you hunt, you can certainly get an advantage, but it would have to be someone who also has bushcraft.
I will help you hunt. I used to be an adventurer like all of you until I died.
Until you took an arrow to the knee. Yeah. All right.
Good
So
for you. Okay, so I get to roll with a boom,
advantage. Yep.
an advantage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
that's 12 and a 15.
Well, so they're
No.
out for hours, and while you're sitting in camp, you see a whole bunch of reindeers that are sort of walking around. And, you're like, wow, they're going to come back with like 20 for sure. And you see like, a half a dozen of them kind of run off at some point. And several hours later, the two of them come back, and Helvar's got like these two squirrels attached to a little string that are just kind of dangling.
It is
Unless
an
they-
offering.
Unless they
They're
spend
like,
an advantage to
yeah.
reroll.
Squirrels and biscuits.
Are you going
Push
to
it.
attempt to reroll on it?
Push
I
it,
feel like
push
I
it.
want to save that for something later.
As we get back to camp and I see all the reindeers, I'll be like, there they are.
Push it real good.
Push it real good.
Okay. I will use that advantage right now.
Yeah, or you can push the roll. It's true that you can push, right? You'll get a condition, but you can push the roll.
And we said the conditions go away when we go to sleep, right?
When you take a rest, you can rest
The-
you can
the
lose a
s-
condition with a shift rest.
Shift rest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll push it, you guys.
Go
Pressure.
for it. Or even I think a stretch rest, you can get a
Your pressure.
roll it while I check it out.
Made it.
Nice.
9.
Oh.
All right, so pick a condition, and you have you can heal it with a stretch rest at some point, which is a short rest.
I
So
will
pick a
pick-
condition.
Disheartened because I fell to peer pressure.
So you go out hunting and you come back and you have just those squirrels, and as you approach the camp, you see that there's like half a dozen reindeers just like eating from a little berry bush that's a few steps away from the camp, and you, with a sigh, pull out your bow and arrow and shoot one down.
Doink. I'll go trudge over and get it. Throw it
Okay,
over my
might be
shoulder.
good. So this will have cost you a little bit of time. So you will give me another survival bushcraft roll, just to see how everyone's faring while they're waiting for you to do your hunting. You're still doing it at advantage at this point because you haven't gone further north.
Is that me? Is that Agos?
Whoever wants to do. I will say Agos, since he's the one who's at the camp with the rest of them.
All right, this is my bushcraft roll.
You can do it at advantage.
Well, I just rolled a natural 20, so hopefully this is gonna be, or a demon, I should say.
Well, that's a demon. So what was your other one? You were rolling an advantage.
Yeah, I succeeded with a 7, but I did roll
Okay.
a demon.
You did roll a demon. However, with advantage, you get to select the dice you want. So you're lucky.
Dave.
Well,
You literally, you were about to tell them that, one of the old tricks that you remember when you're feeling cold is to soak your clothes in water,
Yeah.
because then they cling to you.
Right.
And
Oh, God.
so
Works.
you were about to
Mhm.
you were about to suggest that, and then you were like, "That's really stupid," and you changed your mind, and you instead told them to huddle closer to the fire, and so everyone sort of makes it. You will head into the White Fang Woods, and we'll take a break shortly. But let's do the White Fang Woods before we get there. You go through this woods, and the woods here are very, very, the trees are very widely spread apart. And as you remember the tales of the Yetis, every mound of snow starts to resemble to you like a Yeti in waiting. And you're kind of starting almost to get the feeling like you're surrounded by them. There's all these little mounds of snows, and you can hear off in the distance trees cracking as if something is moving and pushing the trees or the branches aside. And you can hear the calls echoing through the forest at some point, reverberating. And at this point, when you get in there, it's getting close to the evening. You're trying to push through before you set up camp for the night. But it's getting really dark, and as the moon is not shining at all because there's still these sort of dark clouds that are hanging over you and the wind's kind of whipping, it's becoming very difficult to figure out if the trees are cracking because there's a yeti that's pushing through them, or whether it's the wind. So as you're going through this, I'm going to need a number of rolls. So the first roll I'm going to need is you're going to need to make a survival a roll for this part of the trek. All right. This time it is getting to be so cold because you're moving north that you no longer get advantage from the furs and the blankets. So it would be a straight up roll. You have a disadvantage, right? You took, what was the you took disheartened, so it's charisma, so it's all right. So you won't be hampered by your condition. Who will be making this particular roll? I do keep in mind each of you have an advantage that you get every game, and Gudrid and Agos each have an additional one from Pixie Lady.
I'll pull out my ancestral skinning knife again from my auntie, and I have a boon on it on the bushcraft, which I haven't used today yet. I used it yesterday, so yeah. I'll use that.
Okay.
Nice.
A 1 and a 20.
Holy shit. Which one do you pick?
Which one do you pick?
Wow.
Don't say the 20. Don't say the 20. Don't say the 20. 20! You get...
Well, I'm not rolling.
you get a dragon. The dragon is so good that I will say that you... not only do you succeed in keeping your party warm and whatnot, you don't spend the boon that's on your knife. It's still there for you to use if you want. Having rolled this dragon, do make everyone who cares to make one, do make a spot hidden roll. It is dark. It is dark, so you need to tell me if you are using light. Are you using torches? Are you using lanterns? Or are you just trying to navigate?
I will use I think I have a torch.
I have dark vision.
You have dark vision, right? Okay, so this is not going to impact you. Basically, you have a choice. Either you have light or you don't. If you have light, you can make the roll straight. If you don't have light, you will make him at disadvantage, except for Gudrid, who will make it straight because she has dark vision. So you're using light?
Face.
I don't have light.
Yeah, I do. I've got actually, is one of my cultural abilities, elemental provenance. So I actually personally emit a soft yellow light for 30 bits. So,
pretty useful. All right, so you all get to make your roll at straight spot hidden, please. Okay.
Fail.
Success.
I have a magnifying glass for spot hidden with the boom.
What does this look like?
Where's the Yeti?
No, it's like
a spyglass?
No, it's a magnifying glass. Just...
Oh, there he is!
So whoever made the spot hidden roll, at some point you're getting near the edge of the forest that from the navigation where you can sort of figure, and you've just passed in between these two mounds of snows that had accumulated against these two huge pine trees that had just were just right in the path of this snow. And as you're moving through them, who succeeded in their roll? Just 80s?
I did.
All right. The two of you, as you're moving, you kind of get a sense that the two mounds of snow are beginning to move and kind of grow as if they're sort of saying they're a ways behind you, but you can kind of just see them out of the corner, just outside the edge of light that is emanating from 80s. What would you like to do?
I'm going to just very casually turn to the rest of the group and say, we're being followed. And then I'll pull out my lyre and just start playing something very chill. Just to, I don't know, show that we're just monkeying around in the woods, I guess. and just sort of
We're
wait.
here to hunt the Yetis we will hunt. Oh, wait, wrong song.
Wait, I thought we had a sacrifice for the Yetis. I thought we had...
We do.
Is it me?
No.
No, it's the deer and the squirrels.
I got a little worried.
Scrappy anyways, I don't think. Maybe
So
we
what do
should
you
just
do?
leave.
What do? You have the carcass of the deer on you, and you have the squirrels, and you know that just beyond the edge of light, you can feel now these two presences that are sort of raising in the darkness.
Well, let's leave our gifts for the inhabitants of the wood. Maybe we should just set everything out just so, because we got this for them, and maybe then we just carry on.
Iron's gonna take the hammer and smash a bunch of the snow out of the way, make a little clearing.
Thank you.
When you start smashing around with your hammer, you kind of hear some growls, and you kind of feel like they're getting a little agitated just on the outskirts of the light there.
Just gonna put it away.
Plant
Hold
the
hands
lyre.
up.
And you, do you do anything with them? Do you cut them? Do you prepare? What do you do? Tell me. Whoever's got them, describe what you do with the offerings.
I think
I just...
do you go? You go ahead.
I'm just gonna hang them on a tree.
Okay, so go ahead and sacrifice one coil of rope from your bags. Anyone, and you cut it up. You hang the carcass, and you make it kind of nice. You put out the reindeer carcass, and then you put the two squirrels as garnish. Kind of just sort of on top like this, sort of splayed out like this.
One biscuit.
Exactly, and you back away. And I'm going to ask you, First Fallen. You're gonna love this. I'm going to ask you to make a charisma check. Yeah. Now, I will say that because Hades is playing this soft little muzak, that it's helping you out, so you can do it with an advantage. I would also say that you do have force of nature, and that if you wanted to spend the willpower point to use force of nature, that you could, instead of hanging these things, you could build a sort of little altar by moving some of the snow and then fashioning a little sort of altar of wood, kind of like some like a plate being handed out, and you could kind of splay it out like more if you want.
Yeah, I will do that. Actually, I forgot that I had that. Thank you for pointing that out to me. So I will spend that one willpower, and I will mold them a little altar that looks like it'll kind of look like a Yeti, or what I think. Remember what a Yeti looks like, and they'll have in each hand one of the squirrels.
Very nice. And then give me a roll with a advantage.
Well, that one failed. So the first roll was an 18. Second roll's a 2.
Nice. Dragon adjacent. Between the gentle music being played by Zamfir there and this beautiful presentation that you make, you put this, and as you put this, you feel that their agitation is kind of calming down a little bit, and as you start moving away from this area, you kind of feel them falling a little bit, but then it sort of fades away as you can hear them clearly, start grabbing the carcasses and sort of ripping them up and sort of preparing them for carrying back to their little ones. And with that, you will make your way through Hod's Cut, sort of threading your way between the two sort of little mountainous areas there, and you will emerge at Forvanga village not long after, just as, sort of in the middle of the night, but the sight of the fires and the homes and the smoke coming out of the chimneys and the smell of food does bring warmth and cheer to your hearts. And as you approach and sort of knock at a door, you will be brought to what is her name, Ulfrith, who is the healer and the sort of leader of this village. And as we will take a break, your characters will get to spend the night inside in the warmth, eat some nice warm meals, sleep in some beds, get sort of warmed up. So when we return, you will have all your willpower, all your health points, and your conditions will be gone, as you'll have taken a very good rest. And we will take it from there. So we'll take a short break, 5 minutes. We won't be gone too long. Please hang out, stay with us, and we will be back with some more Shadesong / Dragonbane action momentarily. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. See you in a few moments. Oh, you caught us day drinking. Well, no, it's not day anymore. It's pretty late. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Coming back, we are now in the village of Forvanga, where the characters have found a little bit of solace, a little bit of warmth, some warm food, warm place to stay the night, fire. In the morning, when you speak to Ulfrith, she will tell you that they have heard the sounds of some terrible beast. They appear to be coming from atop the peak to the north, which some of you, certainly Agos, possibly the others too, but the peak there is called Ancestors' Vigil. Ancestors' Vigil is a place where traditionally, when someone would pass, a Jotun would pass, the people that were close to that Jotun, who care about him, would come up to Ancestors' Vigil, and they would hold a vigil there, which is why it's called Ancestors' Vigil, to make sure that the spirits of the recently deceased would return to Yggdrasil, because once you climb up to the peak where Ancestors' Vigil is, you can see on the other side of this chain of mountain that blocks you from Yggdrasil, and you can see Yggdrasil in its full glory. So people would come here, burn things in remembrance of the recently deceased, and then basically just help their soul return to Yggdrasil, because the idea being that it goes through Yggdrasil and then returns to Jotunheim, where the Jotuns come from originally. This this tradition has sort of died off a little bit in recent years, simply because it had become kind of dangerous to come all the way up here. Some people would still do it, obviously, but a lot of people took to just burning the bodies down in the village area, on the pier and on the beer, and doing it that way. But it is an old, certainly when Agos was young, this would have been what people did sort of fairly regularly, and Agos might even have been here at some point, perhaps where one of his parents died or something to that effect. So it is kind of a holy site, and it is very much in view of Yggdrasil. And so Ulfrith will tell you that they've heard this beast in the past couple of nights, calling from up there. And she'll say that you can make it up there. If you leave early and kind of press on, you can probably make it up there within a day. She will make sure that you have everything you need. As I said, all your willpower is back, your health points are back, and you have no more conditions. And she'll say that, on the way back, if you wish to stop here, if some of you are injured after the battle or something like that, she will gladly help you and sort of take care of you. And so, thus fortified from this encounter, you begin making your way up into the mountain towards Ancestral's Vigil. As you climb up, we'll say that you don't have to spend your willpower points to do your monster hunting if you don't want to, because you know where he is, but you might want to because of the other thing. So feel free to do that. When you do it without hesitation, your knife this time points directly to the peak. And so now, having done that, if you encounter the beast today, you will have the advantage against it. You will go up. I will ask you to make me one final bushcraft roll to see how you fare through this trip through. Normally it would be without advantage, since it is getting really cold up here and the storm is really kind of battening down. However, having just had a fortifying night over at Forvanga Village, I will allow you to still do it with an advantage given to you by the furs and all that, since you are, you're setting off with already being kind of warm and comfortable and well fed. So please go ahead and give me another one of those.
I rolled I rolled the number that I have in my bushcraft. Is that a success or a failure?
Good. Yeah. No, that's good.
Okay.
So you climb up, and as you go up the mountain, it's a lot of switchbacks, and you find along the way evidence that this is a trail that's been set for the ancestors. You find a lot of sculpted rocks or marked rocks, and wooden sculptures and trees that have been carved. There are strings with little flags and things of that nature. So there's evidence here of people having used this area. And as you come into the mountain area, you start seeing the tracks of the beast that you're following. Would you give me, Gudrid, a bushcraft roll straight up, unless there's some sort of advantage you want to use, just to see if you notice something?
That sounds like something I might want to have a boon on, so I will use my once per day with my ancestral skinning knife.
All right.
I don't want to miss anything. Ooh, I got a one. A dragon.
A dragon, awesome. So again, the boon's not gone, so you still have it if you want. And you notice that there are another set of tracks here. And what you figure out as you check out these tracks, you notice that there are tracks of two very large wolf-like creatures that have apparently come from somewhere else in the mountain, kind of joined up with the beast that you're tracking. But what's kind of real upsetting, and what your roll tells you, is that as they've walked with this creature, they've started transforming. Their paws have grown and now seem to have indication of bigger talons and so on and so forth. So they have obviously sort of been impacted by their presence, by being near the Karakos, and are probably going to be way more dangerous than sort of regular wolves would be.
Well, I'll tell everyone that. We have 3 dangerous foes.
That's fine, right? That's fine. We could do it.
Is it really, though?
We got this guy now, and I indicate to First Fallen.
I think we will be fine.
First Fallen?
Well, you have ulterior motives. You want to die in battle, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know if we can trust your desire to...
I still want to live. I just mean, if I fall, I would like to fall in battle this time instead of being snuck up upon and stabbed in the back without knowing anything.
So, just for the record,
That's
you
fair.
are with Jarl Calder's with you, although he's been silent. It's just because he's an NPC, and I prefer to let the players do the talking. But he is with you. He is carrying a wooden shield and his mallet, and he would have been super useful on the bridge, the platform, if you'd gone there, but you didn't, so you'll never know. You climb up. You climb. It's a good thing you didn't go. You climb up alongside the mountain, and you eventually reach the peak. And the first thing that you notice as you approach there, so the map is kind of like lying to you a little bit. It looks like you're up, but where you are, you're actually lower. Like this is, you're on the lower part of the trail. It goes up, and it eventually reaches that little bridge that you can see that's across sort of a crevice where there's a waterfall. So over here, there's like a waterfall that's emanating from under the top of the mountain. Agos would be able to tell you, having been here, that there is a lake further on at the top of the mountain that it cuts through the mountain. This is what comes down there. The below there is very, very far away. If you fall down there, it's pretty bad business. But so there's a little rickety bridge here that looks like it's not seen decent use in some time. And like I said, this crevice that's here, and then this part is higher up than where you are. So it goes up here. This is a little higher, and then this is higher. And as you approach, you can see and feel the flame that's burning there. And this flame is a very ancient flame that has supposedly been burning for as long as there have been Jotun here. That when the Jotuns first came to Kettleheim, the Jotuns that were sent here, the first thing that they did was mark their arrival with this flame, and it has been burning ever since. You're pretty sure that that's, Agos, you kind of probably thought that was probably not true, that probably people were fan, but you know people don't really come here anymore, and it's burning right now. So there's definitely an indication that perhaps there is some truth to this particular piece of myth. Because of the dragon that you rolled on that bushcraft when you were tracking, I will say that you become keenly aware that somewhere on this part of the map, there are things that are growling and stirring. I will say that until you pass this tree, they won't really know that you're there. Once you pass this tree, I will make them do rolls to see if they sniff you out. But so you have a little bit of time here to sort of figure out how you want to approach this.
Udrid, I defer to you on how we might get there most efficiently and safely.
Well, we have a battle ahead, and several very worthy fighters. I would like to get in there as fast as possible and take out this creature.
Does the bridge
I'm
look
not
sturdy enough?
used to working in a group like this to take monsters out.
Does the bridge look sturdy enough?
Can we jump it?
You could with an acrobatics roll.
Can
Agos is
someone
never jumping that.
Throw Agos over?
To me.
Perhaps we can carry Agos.
Worth mentioning also that as an approach, you could climb one of the trees here and then jump up onto this higher ground if you wanted. That is an approach that you can use, and then you can come down here.
I was gonna say, could we use that fallen tree to either make somewhat of a ladder or use it to reinforce the bridge?
I think maybe climbing the trees might be a good idea. They won't see us until we're almost up there.
We could be upon them the moment we climb, although the problem here is we can't all appear at once.
Well, perhaps myself and one other agile person could take the bridge and maybe draw their attention while the others sneak upon the tree route. And we can kind of get them in a pincer attack, whatever that is.
My friend.
Agos would also be able to tell you that these stones that are here, like menhirs, they're very tall. They're like easily as tall or, the height or the height and a half of a Jotun for the bigger ones. So they can provide cover. If you hide behind them, conceivably you could climb on top of them also to get like height advantage or something. But these two can certainly be climbed, and these three you can certainly hide behind them.
My friend, I think if there's to be a distraction, I don't think you are hearty enough to be that distraction.
Well, I do have a few tricks up my sleeve.
You do. I think Byron and I could distract them. Maybe we cross the bridge. And then they will then be lowering themselves, and the rest of you could have the high ground.
Yes.
Sounds
It's a
good.
solid plan.
Let's go for it.
Where do you want Calder? Calder will say that he has some ability to heal, and he is a defensive fighter. He can protect people.
Oh, he should come with us and prove that you are a warrior.
Prove something.
He bristles a little bit at all of that, and then
You can bristle all you want. Back when I was alive, we ruled a lot differently.
Byron's gonna look up at First Fallen and say, yeah, uh-huh.
The entire discussion back in town was very unnerving for me.
Well, if we all survive, we can revisit it if you wish. But if we are ready,
Well, now you're rushing. All right.
Now he's in a hurry to do so, and now he's
Byron's
speaking.
just
Look at
gonna
him go.
turn around and with the First Fallen and start marching towards the bridge and let him catch up.
all right. So I'm gonna say you guys get around here. I don't know. You can place yourselves where you want, and the lot of you will be prepared to come up here. Now I will give them a little detect roll, but feel free to roll your. You do have some
Evade?
sort of stealth.
Evade?
Yeah. I guess there's no stealth, right? Yeah,
I
it'd
think it's
be your-
evade.
Yeah,
Maybe?
go for it. No, there's sneaking. There's such a thing as sneaking.
Oh, well.
So your sneaking is
Okay.
based on your agility. So if you don't have the skill, you can still roll. And you would be rolling on your agility. Where is it? Right there. If your agility is 1 to 5, your base chance is 3. 6 to 8, your base chance is 4. 9 to 12, 5. 13 to 15, 6. 16 to 18, 7. So even if you don't have sneak, you can try it out with that. Feel free to use advantages if you have them. And
Oh, yeah.
I passed my sneaking roll.
okay. Basically, you all do your sneakings, and then depending on how many of you fail, I will either give them a boon or not.
These are hot as hell tonight.
Hot,
Oh, yeah.
guys!
Hot
Better.
as hell.
Who else? Egos.
I succeeded.
Nice.
Yes.
Barely.
First Fallen and
Oh, did you want us to sneak? I thought we were going
no,
in
I
and
mean, if
being...
you're not
I think
sneaking,
we-
if you're not
I mean,
sneaking.
We could probably sneak as far as we can, you know.
Sure, we could try, yeah.
It's not gonna
alright,
hurt
so
if we're closer to them before they realize that we're there.
Yeah. So
So
go for
I have
it.
an
Calder's
18
past this.
in agility.
So that you're rolling
What?
under a 7 or less for your base chance.
7 or less.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
I got
All
a
right.
I got a 4, so I made it.
All right. So everyone's pretty
Sure.
silent except for First Fallen. It was like, I hope I get to die with my sword in my hand.
Oh, I can't wait for battle.
But since it's just one person, I will not give him boon. I'll just make a straight spot hidden roll for them. And they fail. So you will get to come across the bridge. As you approach it, Calder will make a craftsman roll to see if he can detect if the bridge is happening or not. He makes his roll. He will say that the bridge looks to be solid enough, and to prove this, he will cross. And it looks a little rickety, and there's a couple planks that split and fall, but otherwise he manages to make it across. So with the fact that they did not detect you, I will say you get to come up to this tree. So you can sort of put yourself wherever you want. You're around there. And the lot of you will get up here, but I will require you to make your choice of either a acrobatics skill if you have it. If not, you can just make a agility.
So Bleak, if my agility is 6, for example, what do I need to roll?
You need to roll a dragon. No, you need to roll.
Is it a 3?
4.
4.
However,
okay.
if the other two make their rolls really high, I'll say that they can help you. So wait to see how they do.
Okay.
I rolled a 10. I succeeded.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I rolled not great. I rolled a 17.
Uh-oh.
My agility is 18, but I don't think that made it, right?
No.
I mean, that's
No, because
way too high.
Yeah. Acrobatics.
Oh no.
So,
Snap.
are you re-rolling this in any way, shape, or form?
Oh,
or-
yes. I am using my advantage from Pixie Lady.
Okay.
Hey.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Pixie.
Pixie Lady.
That's an 18.
Oh no.
Hey-oh.
Hey-o.
Dice are no longer
Wasted.
hot.
So,
Yep.
Cold.
and okay,
Freezing.
so go ahead and make your roll, and I will laugh if you get a dragon, because then I'll let you help her.
Okay. I'm gonna also use my advantage from Pixie Lady, so thank you
Alrighty.
for that. Here we go. Come on, dragon. Nope, that's a fail. Come on, dragon. That's a 2. That's a 2.
Close.
Dragon adjacent.
Yeah.
All right. So I will say that what happens is the two of you make it up there. You're kind of stuck trying to get over the last little hump there. Agos just gets up there like, he's been lying about being lame all this time. He's like
Spry.
Yeah.
He's so spry and
Wily.
athletic. Look at him go.
So as you approach there, I will say that give me some spot hidden rolls, all of you.
Yeah, 19.
Success.
I
Those
need
of
a
you who
got
make
it.
them,
I succeeded.
those of you who make
Nice.
them will see these warg type
Uh-oh.
creatures.
Oh.
These
That's
wolves
cool.
who have grown and have horns now, protruding bones, spurs that have started protruding out of the front of their heads. So you will see those of you who have made the success. Sorry, you're trying to. You will see these, and you will see that one of them is lying here next to the fire.
Oh, what a baby.
Yeah. And the other one is hiding over here in the tree. So did anyone at the bottom make their spot hidden?
Yeah, I got an 8.
All right. So you do see that there's one kind of under the tree, behind that fallen tree, kind of on the ground. And because they failed their spot hidden, they're not like kind of checking the other ones chilling by the fire. You don't see the Karakos. Because
I will point out the one by the fallen tree to Byron and
I will draw initiative. Gudrid, I will say that regardless of what happens, you get the last initiative as you'll be trying to climb
Oh.
up that thing. Okay.
Stuck. My foot's
So-
stuck.
Yeah. So I'll give you the 10 right away. All right. I'm going to reshuffle these. And All right, we'll start with First Fallen. We'll go at 9. That's not very good, First Fallen. And then after that, it would be Agos will go at 7. 80s will go at 4.
Yeah.
And Byron, you can't see, but goes at 6.
Don't forget my lightning fast where I can draw 2 cards.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what you were to 7, right?
9.
He was 9.
That was 9. And so I'll use my willpower points for that, yeah.
Okay. So your option is 1.
Ooh.
I will take 1.
Yeah. You get to choose.
You get to choose between 1 and 9.
Okay. All right. So you go at 1. You are approaching. You can hear these 2 beasts. They don't seem to be asleep, but they seem to be kind of somnolent as you approach there. What would you like to do? So basically, zone-wise, just so you know, so this will be a zone. Down here will be a zone, and here will be a zone. So for you guys to kind of get to this one, like anything down here, it's all the same zone, so you can just move and attack. If you want to cross up here, then it will require a full movement.
I kind of want to go right here, and then just be as loud as possible, and
Draw some attention.
yeah, basically, just come, beast.
And as you say that, you see the 2 wargs heads come up right away, and immediately, like, you can see their heckles rising. You can, you know that they're onto you. At 3 they go. So this one will immediately come bounding out and attack you. This one will come out and start heading for you, but he has to move here and get into the zone. So the first one, he comes at you. This beast, just like in a bound, just leaps over that fallen tree, hits the ground once, and then is just coming at you like that. So I'll say you were kind of holding your action. So if you want to make an action as it's incoming, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, as he comes in, I will just swing my axe at him.
All right.
And that is. I just. What do you roll for that again? You just roll.
So you roll your 20, and you're rolling against your axe skill.
Sorry. I have an axe, the base skill of 14, and I got a 4.
All right, that's good. So you managed to hit it. So as it's coming, it leaps in at you, and you just sort of welcome it like, Babe Ruth with the bat with your axe digging into it. Go ahead and give me some damage. Shit. Wolf.
Got
1. How many hit points do these things have?
13 plus a d6.
D6.
Oh, d6 was a 1, but a total of 14 damage.
Whew.
All right. You take a huge chunk out of it. Well, I'm just going to write the Caracos's hit points.
I mean, that hit would kill me, so.
Yeah, it's coming at you, and it would have killed a normal wolf, but these are a little bit enhanced, so like your thing bites right into him, and he kind of like embeds around your axe, and like he falls to the ground, dragging your axe down with him, and you just kind of manage to pull your axe out of him as you pull back. After that would be at 4, would be 80s.
Okay. And within, I know within the area, how far am I able to move? Does it depend on my movement still?
You can move basically. No, you can move
just anywhere in this
all the way up to here, basically.
Heck yeah. Okay. I'm going to move sort of to the side of that stone, and I'm going to shoot the closer one to me with my crossbow.
Go for it.
Okay,
so the one that's like kind of running down away from you, basically, as it was towards First Fallen.
Yes, yeah, like surprise, surprise. I'm coming for you.
Roll on it.
So
it doesn't know you're shooting at it, so it's not going to try to evade.
Yeah. That's an 8.
So that hits. Nice.
Excellent.
Uh-oh.
And then I would like to. I've got an ability called Dragon Slayer where I can add an additional D8 to damage for a monster, and I'm going to do that. It's 3 willpower points. So I get to roll my 3d6 for the weapon and then a D8.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That is 18 points.
Solid.
Against that
Your
guy.
shot takes it right in the back of the skull, and with the extra heroic ability power that you're putting into it, it punches right through its skull, shoots out the front, and splits it, and the horns just drag both sides down, and it just kind of hits the ground and flops over, and it is very much dead. Very well done.
Adis's face is in like complete shock. She was absolutely ineffectual during the last battle. So this is.
And now with that shot,
I know.
expert marksman.
Excellent hit. Excellent hit.
At 5, they go again. Although one's dead now. But this one will certainly attack First Fallen. So like it kind of backs up a little bit, and it's kind of trying to find an angle, and then like as soon as you kind of lift your axe in one direction, it kind of dodges into the other one and just comes at your legs, sort of thing. It is going to hit, and it will do as it bites into you. It will do 9 points of damage minus your armor.
I have 6 armor.
And so it comes in with this huge maw of blackened teeth, and it just bites down right under your knee, and it's just holding onto you, and you realize it's not letting go, and it's just kind of moving its head and sawing down and just biting further into your leg. At 5, at 6, Byron.
Yeah.
Well, there's clearly only one option. It's gonna run past and like sweep the hammer down and kind of get a running start and like leap past this warg and then kind of use the momentum to swing around and smash with the.
Go for it. As it is
Crossbone.
attached to First Fallen, you are at disadvantage unless you want to take a chance of also smacking.
No, I'm gonna use my. Well, hold on a second. Oh, so many fun things.
As Byron comes by and I see that, I'm gonna grab onto it and hold it for Byron.
Okay, I like that. Go
Great.
for it.
So you
Just
hold it, and I'm gonna just line it up and t-ball it
go for it.
with a 2.
Oh.
So I hope that hits. Let's just do it. I'm gonna use a will point to do an extra d4 frost damage. I'm also going to oh, I can't have move to do that. Okay, never mind. Yep, all right. Here we go.
Give us some damage.
Looking fucking good. 16, 19, 23. No, I'm gonna use.
Did you say 23 damage?
I said 25 damage actually.
All right.
Because
So, yeah, it had 2 points left. So as you come in, you hit it so hard that the back end of it rips off and goes flying off, and the front end is still attached to First Fallen's knee. And like he was kind of holding the back end of it as you hit it, and he lets go of it as it kind of flies off and goes and lands somewhere near the end there on the ground and splatters blood everywhere. And it is quite dead also. Very good. You're making short work of these two.
Excellent hit, Byron. I shall use this head, maybe fashion it into another shoulder piece of armor.
I would like some of those horns also, yes.
Yes.
But remember,
of course.
they hit just as hard. You haven't been alive very long, but they also wallop.
At 7, Agos.
Well, Agos is going to sort of follow 80's lead and kind of get up right in here and kind of hide and look about for any other creatures. Also looking to see if there are tracks of other animals or monsters within the snow about this flame.
So here's the deal. Do you want to make a bushcraft roll to look for some tracks, or do you want to make a magic roll to see if you sense
you know what?
supernatural presence?
Yeah, that's a great, thank you for that. I do have, didn't I have sense magic or something? Say I have sense magic, so that doesn't really give it to me. How would I sense the presence of a magical creature? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So basically,
because that would be cool.
Yeah. I will say, all I was going to have you do, honestly, is just make a roll on your elementalism.
Okay.
Okay. And basically, this would be for you to, this creature has supernatural voice, so it would be for you to look for telltale signs of, a distortion or something like that would give you an idea of if it's invisible or if it's hiding somewhere. So
yes,
go ahead and do that.
That is exactly what I would like to do. Thank you. And I succeeded with a 7.
Excellent. So you do recall that this creature had the ability to invest itself in people around, right? So it is possible that it is currently just being unseen because it is in this sort of spiritual form. And while you don't see it or don't catch a glimpse of it, your magical roll, I think, would sort of allow you to understand that being the type of creature it is, it will probably be looking for the angriest person it can find, as anger in someone probably makes it easier for it to invest.
Okay.
What do you wish to do with this information?
Well, I feel like there's a lot. I don't really know. Dave doesn't know. But Agos is going to sort of slowly walk through the sort of northwest side of this ring and try to get it in a position where he can see what's happening with his friends down below where the struggle is taking place.
Okay. Excellent. So at 8, something will happen, and then it'll be Gudrid, who climbs up and finds herself up here. Not able to do much. But if you want, we'll say your movement's done, but you can do an action if you want. Or vice versa. I'll give you a choice. You can either move or stay there and do an action.
I'd like to climb up on one of those rocks to get a better vantage of everything.
That will be both a move and an action. So I'm giving you one of those two.
Okay.
Since it took one of those to climb up here, since you had failure roll. But I mean, you can move to the rock and be ready to...
Oh, that's fine. I will move to the rock.
All right, move to the rock. He lifts his eyebrow at you.
And flexes.
That's right. All right. We'll quickly redo initiative. Are you activating your thing, or you automatically get it first fallen, your veteran? Your veteran that allows you to choose?
Yeah. Correct.
Is it automatic, or do you activate it?
I think it is. I have to make it bigger to read it because I had to shrink it down. Sort of combat. So I have to just kind of activate it. So I'll spend a willpower.
One willpower point. You activate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your choices are between 4 and 3.
I'll pick 3.
All right.
Good choice.
Very sensible choice. Would you like to get some some counsel on that choice, or are you sticking with that choice?
No, I'm good. It's good. It's good.
Gudrid will go at 1.
Whoa.
Agos at 7. The Scoo's at 8. 80's at 2.
Ooh.
All right.
Well, hold on. If I did the veteran, which is 1 willpower, it says I get to keep the initiative that I had at the other round.
Oh, is it at the other round? So, what did you have?
I had 1.
All right. So
I just took Gudrid's.
that's fine. You'll
Sorry.
have 1. Gudrid will have 2. You will have 3. And this is not going to change. So you go first. So you are there. You don't see the creature. There's two dead wargs at your feet, and right now there's like just this lull where the wind is sort of beating at you and the snow is kind of swirling around, but everything seems to be quiet, almost kind of like things are over, but you get a sense that they're probably not.
Can I look around for the beast with like a spot hidden or anything? Or?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, that's a 15. That's not. So I'm gonna use my magnifying glass so I get a boon. How's that work?
Oh, yes.
How do they? I'm just gonna pull that out.
Yes.
That's a reroll. Is that what that is? Or
Yeah, boon means you get an extra die and you choose which one you want.
That is so
Oh, boy.
ridiculous. I love it.
What a wonderful.
I'm gonna use I'm just gonna pull out my magnifying glass, and I didn't see it at
Oh,
first,
God.
and then look around. And, okay, I got a. Okay, that's
Oh,
a 10, and I have a 10. So if I get a 10, got a 10.
Yeah. So something you notice with your spot hidden at this point is that the storm seems to be kind of heavier or centered, sort of in this kind of area, sort of where you are. So down here. So you kind of seem to be at sort of the center-ish of the storm. So you would notice that with your.
Okay. I'll just let everyone know.
So yeah, like you can see the swirl of the snow and whatnot seems to be like thicker and faster around here.
Yes, I have a feeling it's using the weather conditions to camouflage itself. Come out, beast. Face us.
Do you move?
I will move to here.
Okay. At 2. Gudrid.
Well, I hear First Fallen say, "Come out, beast." I think he knows what's up. So I am going to use all of my movement to get to that other lower section,
Okay.
which I guess is put me as close as I can get.
Yeah, so you'd have to be just sort of below this area here.
Okay.
But you could be like there or there.
Um,
I'll draw
Yeah,
I'll draw a line here. There, we'll say it's the line of there you go. That's the zone line.
okay. Zone line. I'm just on the side of the zone line.
Okay.
And that. Do I get to do any? That's just all I can.
Yeah, so you
Do,
use the
right?
movement
Yeah.
to move into a different zone, so that's all you can do.
Okay.
380s.
Well, I am going to. Let me see. I have. Oh, well, I'm gonna just move to the edge here, and I think that's all I'm gonna do
Okay.
for this one.
At 4, something will happen. The beast is currently busy sensing the level of anger in everyone. If someone had the angry condition, it would automatically be them, but no one does, so it has to spend an extra round, which is what it did last turn, kind of sensing, and it feels that there's anger in 2 of you. Namely, the Jarl, who is very angry at his own actions and at having put everyone in this situation, but also Baron, who
Told you not to touch anything.
has been growing at certain things that Scoos and I are aware of. And so we'll see who we choose. I will roll a d10. 1 to 5, he will choose to assault Byron, and 6 to 10, he will choose to assault Calder.
Ooh.
And I get a 4.
Ooh.
So you sense suddenly, Byron, you sense this pressure as this feeling of anger starts to drive, and everything inside of you that has been making you angry these past few days seems to just be multiplied. And on top of that, you think back to when you were in that cave and you touched that sword and you had that sort of anger that just sort of drove through you, and the fact that the Caracosa spirit has already kind of tainted you. You can feel this thing entering you. All right? So this is what's going to happen. This thing is attempting to enter you. All right? You will, it will do a magical roll to try and use its magical power against you. Now, as a monster, it doesn't roll. It just succeeds. Okay? However, I will give you, right, a chance to make a roll. And you will make a roll on your willpower. And what this roll will do, although it will not allow you to resist it, what this roll will do, if you succeed it, means that you will be able to give warning to your friends.
Willpower, you say?
Willpower, I say.
I'm gonna use my episode boon for damn sure.
Heck yeah.
And I'm shooting for a 5.
Shit.
And that's a 7.
Ooh.
That's the best. You rolled 2 dice.
I rolled a 17 and a 7.
All right. So you almost can do it. You feel this thing trying to get inside you. It's not inside of you yet, but you know it's coming, but it's got enough of a hold on you that you can't warn people. You feel that it's entering you. You feel your anger grow. And you know that this thing is there. And that was at 4. Coming up next would be at 7, would be Agos.
Okay, so Agos is going to try to sense the creature again.
Go for it.
Okay. Oh yeah. I rolled well under my elementalism.
Okay. So a couple of things happened to you, Agos, here. One, you notice that the sort of weather disturbance seems to now kind of shift and have moved to be predominant around Byron. And as this happens, you feel your crystal start to vibrate and sort of almost shake with anger as it's scratching you. It's under your jacket and it's just scratching at your skin right now, and it's just like going crazy. And it feels like there's anger radiating from it.
I'm going to grab it, pull it out, and I'm going to raise it up. I'm going to try to use my my magical ability to like amplify it, so it becomes like a lure for this thing to draw it out. Interesting. All right, cool. You do that. Tell me how many willpower points are willing to pump into it. I will. What are my options?
I will say 1 to 3.
I will go 3.
All right, pump 3 willpower into that. At 8, Byron, you are currently unable to move, rooted in there, feeling your anger just erupt, looking at these people around you who have all bent the knee, have all given away their lives in service to faceless gods, absentee landlords, in effect, that live far away and have just demanded that these people do their bidding. And the weakness in this Jarl, the weakness in this supposed leader of them, the weakness in First Fallen, who could not even die with a sword in his hand, who found himself dying a coward's death. The weakness in Agos, his body so frail, so he shouldn't even be alive. He's a drain on your resources. He's the weak link in the party. He's such a weakling. The weakness in 80s and Gudrid, who rely upon mind-altering substances and alcohol to give themselves courage and to bring themselves joy, when all the joy they should need should come from being powerful women who, go out there and do the Viking woman thing, and yet they just sit there and write songs and get drunk, and the other one with her emo shit. You're just angry.
Bone shit?
You gave your life and your title so that these people could live free from the meddling of the gods and the fucking mortals, and this is what has become of them. These fucking weaklings.
Some bullshit.
So that was at 8. At 10, he gets his second action, the Karakos. So now he's going to fully take control of you.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Jesus, take the wheel.
He slips into you. Okay. Now you feel behind you an ancient piece of you that is currently being flooded with magical power and with some pretty solid willpower, for all the fact that you're surrounded by a bunch of weaklings. There's someone in there who's putting in some work, who's pumping in some will into this thing. And since this crystal is connected to you, right, this will is pumping into you. So I am going to give you, he pumped 3 willpower into this thing. I am going to give you 3 dice to roll, to attempt once more to get a willpower check to resist this thing.
Ooh! 3 d20s?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I gotta shoot below a 5. All right.
You have any more advantages?
Fuck no. No.
Go for it.
Nobody cares about me.
No one likes you.
Lies.
And that's a 12, a 19, and a 5.
Oh! Made it! As you feel this willpower flood into you, coming through this ancient artifact that used to belong to you, you find in yourself the power to resist. Now, how do you want to resist? Do you want to try to warn your friends? Do you want to try to fight this thing? Do you want to, and if you do that, what do you want to do? You have freedom you have free will, therefore.
I'm just gonna just yell to the heavens, and if you'll allow me to, I will use my Thane's Will.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So anybody that can see me, you can trade willpower for health. Up to 10 points as a reaction. That doesn't use your reaction. So if you get hit by anything, you can immediately pop yourself up. And you just hear Byron just scream, like he's let go of his hammer at this point and it's kind of fallen to the ground, and just yells up at the sky.
And as he does this, there's a new light to Byron. You suddenly feel inspired the way you do when a great leader is there, and how a great leader can inspire by their very presence alone, even without saying anything, without ever doing anything. You feel there's an ancient power there, a true leader, a true, Thane that is standing amongst you, and it emboldens you, and it empowers you. Are you keeping your same initiative, First Fallen? The one? And very quickly then, Gudrid goes at 5, Agos at 2, 80s unfortunately at 10,
Hey.
9 for the Scoos, for Byron. So, First Fallen, you see this. You see that the storm is kind of centered around Byron. When you turn to look at him, you see that he's basically like, he looks super angry. You can see that like the bones on his skull have started to deform a little bit. And, like you can kind of tell there's some sort of transformation going on, similar to what you've seen in the wargs that's happening. And he seems really good. And all of a sudden there's like just this moment of sort of peace in his eyes. And he just sort of breaks free from that and screams up at the sky. And you get this sense of this, ancient thing sort of standing there in front of you. And it becomes fairly clear to you that this creature is trying to sort of take him over. What do you do?
We don't see it yet, right? It's
You don't see it
still
yet.
like more of a okay. I'll just shout over to Byron and yes, fight it! Fight it! Don't let it control you.
All right. So, at 2, Agos. You now holding this thing, you can feel that this power that you're holding in your hand is going directly into Byron. You can tell that there's a strong link there. All these times that it was activating recently since the resurrection of Byron start to make sense, and you're starting to understand perhaps what happened in that moment, that the spirit that was invested in you. Remember Byron saying goodbye to you in the hall.
Yep.
You start to understand perhaps what is happening. It is clear this thing is trying to possess him, control him. What do you do?
Fireball.
Thinking, well, there's no target. Like, I don't see a target, right?
You could, if you want. I'm not even going to make you roll. You would
I
know
don't
that
see.
oftentimes when a creature is being possessed, oftentimes doing damage enough to it will force it out, as it will abandon the sinking ship, so to speak.
Well, I have a different idea.
Yeah, sure.
And after seeing what transpired when the previous crystal was sacrificed to raise the Thane, I am going to grip this crystal in my hand, feeling its energy surging, and I'm going to cast Shatter, and I'm going to explode the crystal to give the power to Byron.
All right, excellent. So you do that. Describe to us, please, what happens as this thing shatters.
I'm holding it in that. If you guys remember, my arm is like sort of like charred from that earlier experience, and I'm holding the crystal and concentrating, and I have Shatter as a spell, and I just mutter under my breath, Nusa. And as I exhale, this energy goes up my arm, and the gem starts, or the crystal starts to vibrate, and then it just sort of like lifts out of my hand and floats there for a moment above my hand, and then just like that deep bram of low tone, it just shatters in the sky above me.
As this shatters, the energy that's held in it basically travels right down to where Byron is and explodes into him. Byron, please give me a D8 roll.
D8.
Yes.
Didn't have that one ready. There we go. That's a 5.
Right, you take 5 hit point damage and 5 willpower damage as the explosion of this thing, of your power sort of being released out of it and sort of dissipated into the air, fractures part of you. And as this happens, the beast is expelled from you, and standing in front of you now, right next to where good old. I'll move it after. I just want to embiggen it because it's huge. The beast, the Karakos. That will give you a.
Ooh.
That thing is sweet.
It ate its
Makes
Wheaties.
good sense.
Yeah, this thing
It ain't everybody's Wheaties.
Yeah.
explodes out of you. It stands like nearly 15 feet tall. It's just this massive bone and horns. It's got this huge carapace on its back, these huge claws, this tail that is covered in these bone shards that's whipping around, these huge fangs, and there's just basically anger that's rippling through it and so rippling throughout everything, and you can feel the hatred and the anger that it has towards all of you. And that was at 2. At where are we at? At 4, it would be it, but I will say it loses its first action as it's sort of stunned from being pushed out of the thing. At 5 would be Gudrid.
I am going to. You say it's 15 feet tall. It's like it is. That's a little bit bigger than us. Then, like 5 feet taller than us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot it with my bow.
Go for it.
And let's see. I did the monster hunter, so that means I get advantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
I'll spend my 1. What a bargain! 1 point. God, I'm glad I'm good at this. I rolled a 12 and an 18, but that hits.
Nice. Go for it.
Nice.
Okay. That is. I would like to do the Dragon Slayer also with
Go for
this.
it.
Yes.
Go for it.
2, 3.
Oh,
So let's see. That is. Wasn't ready with my
Breathe
dice.
the pain.
Ah. Well, that's a 1 and a 6. 6 damage. Thunk.
All right. Your arrow bounces right off his bone armor and breaks as it shatters. Unfortunately, he's quite well armored, as you can see. 5. Then 7. It's the Jarl Calder who will move up here, and he's more of a defensive thing, so he's going to move here and to stand ready to protect some peoples. And then at 9, it would be Byron.
Byron's pissed and is gonna just get up, still in the middle of this, and grab his hammer and just sort of almost blindly swing it around and smash it against this creature's carapace.
Go for it.
It's a 12, but that still hits.
Hits, probably. Yep.
Oh yeah, it does.
Give me some damage.
I got 2 willpower left. I'm gonna save them. No, wait. Do I have 2? No, I have 3. I have 3. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna use my massive blow.
Okay.
And pump a D8 into this in addition to all the other things, and that's a 5, 10.
What's Scoozy doing? He's doing some massive blow.
23 points of damage.
23 points of damage. Huzzah! All right. He absorbs a good chunk of that, but you do a good chunk more as your hammer crunches into him, and you see pieces of bone just explode and sort of fire off, exposing some flesh underneath from where you've given him a very serious hit. He doesn't seem happy at all.
I'm just going to yell at everybody else, none of you are weak.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. 80s.
Okay. 80s is gonna just move a little bit closer, but still up on the ledge, and she is going to use her crossbow again.
Go for it.
Because it worked out last
It
time.
worked out last time.
Okay. No, that's an 18. Not happening.
You fire and miss.
I do.
Gudrid will go at 7, Agos at 5, Byron at 2, 80s at 9. Wow, you're not very lucky with the...
Nah.
All
One
right,
and
so
done.
at 1, first fallen.
I shall run up to the creature. And I too shall attack it and also use Massive Blow to add it. But let's try to hit it first.
Go for it.
I rolled a 5.
Very good. Give some damage.
All right, so we are going to do... What a bit here. It was oh, hold on. Wait, delete that. The D6 plus... The D6 hates me. It always rolls a 1. 2d10. And we're adding a D8. 12 damage. Not as good as Byron.
Yeah, most of it gets absorbed, unfortunately, by the thing's armor. But you do get a little bit of damage in. All right, as you come in with your sword, ka-chunk on him. At 2, Byron again.
Not going to hit him again.
Go for it.
Oh, that's a 4. All right.
Nice. Give me the damage.
I'm out of things. 4, 10, 16 points of damage with Frostbone.
All right. You have weakened him considerably as he looks to be very much wounded. He goes at 4. He will do is sweeping attack. He roars and sweeps his claws in a wide arc, hitting everyone within 2 meters of him.
Just a few of us.
Yeah, which is the 2 of you, basically. Byron and first fallen. And you will take, as he sweeps through with his claw, his tail, in fact. 13 points of damage as he whips his tail around.
That's the track armor, right?
13 minus your armor. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still alive.
Me too.
All right.
Not looking so great. I'm still here.
Hang on to your weapons, folks.
5, Agos.
For when you die.
All right, Agos is going to hustle his old ass up to the edge here. He kind of puts his hand up on 80's shoulder. And then he's going to, with the other hand, reach out and he's going to mutter, "Stop!" And as he does, he's going to cast Fire Blast at the creature.
Sounds nasty.
Which will be successful.
Heck
I rolled
yeah.
under my elementalism, and I'm casting it at maximum power level.
Heck yeah.
So that's going to cost me 6 will points.
Holy moly.
That's right. I got way more. I got plenty more. So let's see. That is 4d8 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
20 points of fire damage on this guy.
Right. That's pretty hardcore. So he takes 10 of that. The other 10 is redistributed. His shell that's on his back absorbs a chunk of the magical damage and redistributes it, exploding around him. So I will ask you in a second, Agos, to tell me how you kill this creature, because the 10 that you've done to him is enough to kill him. However, everyone that's within 2 meters of him will also take 10 fire damage as the explosion is redirected all around him.
Minus our armor?
It is magical, so I don't know, does it? That's a good question.
That would be a bummer.
Can I drink a health potion real quick?
Yeah, can I also just... No, you can use... Listen, you can exchange willpower for health points as a reaction, because you're in line of sight with me.
Yeah.
I could also do the same if I had any willpower.
Yeah, so I'll say I'm not going to go check it. I'll say the armor factors in. So it's 10 minus your armor.
Okay.
We'll see.
And Agos, tell us how you end the reign of the Karakos.
You said that it kind of roared as it did its sweeping attack. So what I envision is that as it's roaring, its mouth wide open, Agos casts the fire blast at maximum. It takes everything he's got and it flies across the space right into the creature's mouth and just illuminates its head like a jack-o'-lantern, and then just turns it into ash. It starts at the head and then just works its way down the rest of the body as it just burns it into ash.
Oh man.
Nice. It totally turns into ash, and there's this huge scorch mark on the ground where the fire sort of exploded out of it and so on and so forth, and the two of you find yourself sort of on your ass, having been scorched a little bit by this thing. As the snow around you, the storm around you abates, and you can now start to feel the warmth from the fire of ancestors that's burning there, that's wafting over you. Even as far as you are, it's clearly a magical fire now that the sort of storm that's around it has begun abating. You find yourselves standing there surrounding this scorch mark on the ground where the Karakos used to be. What do you do?
Is everybody okay?
That was close.
No.
Oh, a little burned, but it kind of feels good in the cold.
Everyone's alive, though. Yes? Thane?
Yes.
Yeah, do tell, Byron. What's up? What's going on?
I haven't heard anybody ask me what's up in a very long time.
Yeah. First, Fallen will walk over to you, Byron, and put his axe before you and kneel.
A true leader.
No. Actually, no. This is all kind of my fault. Our friend Byron is all well and good, feasting and drinking and fighting in Valhalla. And the longer that I've been here, the more that I come to realize I am the last Thane that ever was. There have been none others after me, I don't think. I'm Hundalfer. And he will bow and take his tricorn cap off. And sort of shake his little bowl cut. It pains me greatly to see the state that you are all in. You think that you have to I mean, what is your purpose? What is your life? Your life is Yggdrasil. Your life is the roots of this tree. Yes, your life is this tree. And he gestures up at this tree that's like visible.
Yeah.
That was my purpose.
Purpose.
I struck a deal with one of the Vase here long ago. First of all, I must say this world is beautiful. Not been here before. But the bargain was that Jotun would have a place in the world without being blasphemed across all of the realms, all of the different worlds that the world tree connects. And now that happened, but you have been sort of bound to it in a way that it's not right. It's not just. You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do, and you're stuck tending the tree. The tree can tend for its fucking self. We have bigger issues to worry about, I think. You know, there's like the whole end of the world prophecy and shit. There's a wolf. There's the last lines of your gorgeous poem. And I wish I could enlighten you, but I'm not. I can't. It's not my task.
As you say that, you hear the wind that is picking up a little bit. In the charred spot where the Karakos used to be, you see its skull there, lying in the snow. The most sought-after trophy by hunters. And as the wind blows, it whispers through his skull. And 80s, you hear the following lines being carried on the wind through the skull of this creature. You hear, the sun grows black, the earth sinks into the sea. The bright stars vanish from the heavens. And heed these last words, which contain the answer to the coming of the Fimbulwinter, the dread wolf, and the age of the dying of the light. In the moment of the light's passing, one need only look to oneself, to a life lived well and to the full, for comfort before the inevitable eternal dark.
Adis will not realize it, but you'll see tears running down her cheeks, and she doesn't write it down immediately. She just wants to sit with it for a bit.
In the moment where you sit with this revelation, you hear the wings of some creature descending from the sky, and when you look, you see coming down a most striking warrior with wings of blood. This warrior comes down riding a shaft of light and appears before First Fallen and says, "Your time here is over. You have fought with honor and with courage, and you hold your sword still in your hand. The hall calls to you." And she extends her hand.
One moment. I'll approach Bane and hand you my axe. Take this. It will help you. And I'll look to the rest of you and thank you for this chance of coming back and earning my way back into Valhalla. Much appreciated.
Well done, Hildar. Well done.
It was
Farewell,
a pleasure
friends.
to slay this beast with you.
And as Hildar turns to face the Valkyrie, he slowly sinks to his knees and rests there, his head on his chest, as the light where the Valkyrie was shines down on him. And you hear in the distance sounds of feasting and drinking and the unmistakable sound of his laughter echoing down from the halls of the brave. And with this final moment, and with this redemption of First Fallen, and the return of the Thane, and certainly Gudrid will be picking up that skull, that mark of the Ultimate Hunter, and perhaps in this moment of the dying of the light, the Aegos will look back on his life and perhaps having brought back the Thane, think it was well lived and well done. Or perhaps he will think that there's life left for him to still live, and besides, he's got these runes now, and the Thane is certainly in need of a Voldruna. And as for Hades, well, Hades has finalized the poem. Perhaps she will one day write it, perhaps she won't. But the greatest thing, Hades, about finally having heard the last lines of this poem is that all other music, all other poetry that you hear will now begin again to have its full joy, and you will be able to take its full measure and enjoy it once more. And as for the Thane, well, who knows what the Thane will do? He's got many years to catch up on, and he still has a crown to find. And on that note, we'll end Winter Thrice, this first arc
Hell yeah.
of the new season of Shadesong, made glorious by these amazing players and the wonderful role play that I've had the opportunity to hang out here and watch unfold before my eyes. Thanks so much to everyone who hung out with us, running late like this because of our late start. And of course, the ending always ends up running late a little bit. I'm sorry if you're working tomorrow. Super appreciate everyone who stayed here. Please, we'll go around and meet these wonderful players one more time. Please tell us who you are, what people can see you. And we will start with the Bard, who has completed Snorri's tale 80s. Beth.
Well, this was great. Thank you for allowing us to tell such a cool story. It's so much fun role playing with all of you too. This is just a total blast. I can't wait to see the next arc of Shadesong because it's just the best.
It's gonna be about bowling.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bowling?
Bowling. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Classic.
Thane's going to open a bowling alley. It's going to be the first. Yeah.
Thane's Lanes.
Thane's Lanes.
Nice.
Yes. For wit like that, you can find me on social media at Beth Masco. Check it out.
Nice. Extra experience point for you there, Beth. That was perfectly well laid out. Thank you so much. Always such a pleasure to have you here. And your partner here, your partner in alcoholic crime, Shelley, known as Gudrid. What can you tell us about yourself that we don't already know?
Oh, gosh, not much. Not much at all. I am with a lack of words. This was such a cool story, such a cool ending, and then Beth hits us with Thane's Lanes. I don't even know what to say right now.
It's like biting
Thanks
into a
for
double
letting me-
fudged Oreo, but it turns out to be a regular Oreo. It's like, yes.
Or is it avocado?
Is it avocado?
Sushi.
Damn avocado.
So thanks for letting me be part of this. This was super dope. My name is Shelly. You guys can find me Real Flea Monkey on Twitter. I'll be back here doing stuff here and there around the square. I'm just super psyched to be playing with all you guys. This has been really great. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't so much let you play with us as you let you play with us. That's really how it goes. Thank you so much for being here and playing with us. It's always a great pleasure. And next time your taquitos bites you, bite him back. That's what I say. The Thane himself, the man who started the story as Byron and ended up as the Thane in an absolutely unforeseen turn of events. How's it going, Scoos?
It's going. I love the Thane is cool, but I really like Byron. Byron was a lot of fun. Yeah, you can find me at Scoos News on Twitter and such. I have been a part of Shadesong for a minute, and I'm super excited for what this year is going to hold. And it has been just a fucking blast playing with every one of you and all the little quips and moments. And it's not our turn to speak, but we have to bite our tongue because we're about to laugh real hard at some stupid joke that somebody makes all the time. Here for it. So
and you'll be in the next one too, I believe.
Oh yeah, like in
a few weeks. That's right. Playing something else though,
Byron the second.
Byron
Jr.
Byron
The
Deuce.
Return.
Byron Deuce.
Return to Byron. I will have a bowl cut in every character I play in your games
from now on. Thank you so much, Scoos. Always a pleasure. Of course, you are a recidivist here at Shadesong, and that's how we like it. Dave, who played Aegos with such verve and dedication that we would be pushed to thinking that you're a crumbly old man yourself, but you're not. You're a vivacious youth. Tell us about yourself, O vivacious youth.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me back for some more Shadesong. This was an absolute joy. Super fun to play with this group. Shelly, Scoos, Beth, and Insomnia. You guys are awesome. That was really, really fun. So thanks for that. Bleak, you run a great game. It's always a pleasure. So what's going on? I want to tell you about some stuff. What is it? Well, look, we've got a bunch of stuff going on here at the Guild. This Sunday, for example, we have another finale of our Vaesen game, which Bleak runs with another great group of players. We've got a awesome Monday night lineup for Ystera, with Miko running that game with a great group of folks. There's just so many great people at the Guild now, and it's been growing, and folks can get involved and come join us in our Discord, and that's oftentimes how you get recruited to playing these games. So come on over and hang out with us. Tuesday we'll be back for some Greyhawk, the Heroes of Greyhawk. But I do want to say we have a couple of special things coming up on the 18th of this month. We will be running a special charity stream, one shot. Scoos is in it along with a couple other awesome folks. It is a Greyhawk game. We're raising money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospitals with a bunch of other great streamers in the Greyhawk creatives community here on Twitch, organized by Lord Gazumba and others. So we're really excited about that. And then stay tuned because there's a lot more coming. We've got a new Sunday night game, Mothership RPG, which is going to be starting up on the 19th. And we have an extremely special one-shot on March 1st, which is the beginning of my birthday month. And I put in a request, and the stars aligned for something really, really special on Wednesday the 1st. So come and check that out as well. Lots going on here.
Nice. Cool. Thank you so much. And yeah, super busy. And that's how we like it. And that St. Jude's thing is going to be awesome. Great cause. So we'll definitely be in there, helping out. Finally, the man, the myth, the legend, the man with the voice, who is finally redeemed, who took a character that was supposed to be a one-shot character 6 campaigns ago, and by hook and by crook has managed to create a redemption story for the ages, having gone through all the various underworlds and so on and so forth, and finally earning his spot in Valhalla. The voice, Squid Boy.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, it was nice up until that point.
Insomnia Night.
It's always
Michael.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your channel.
Yeah. Oh God. I'm Insomnia Night RPG. You can find me here on Twitch as that. The channel is not ASMR. It's a bit overloading and a sensory overload, but that's how we like it. We're very interactive. We do tabletop RPGs over there, and you can completely just screw with the game with all the channel point redeems, and there's a bunch of commands. There's a lot going on in that place. It's insane. But yeah, no, it's my pleasure to be here. Like Bleak, amazing as always. All of you, Scoos, Beth, Dave, Shelly, much fun. You redeemed First Fallen, who he was supposed to be just a dead guy, but then he got redeemed, and now he gets
a life of his own.
It's a battle in Valhalla.
Yes.
We will miss the voice. I'll definitely have you back for some other action. It was great fun, Michael. The character is great.
Yeah.
You embodied greatly, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come out and play with us here on the channel. So thank you so much, Red. Do check out his channel. It's very weird, very strange, but always a ton of fun. As for me, I'm the Bleakseason. I'm going to be sort of on a mini vacation for the next 2 weeks, as I don't really have streams going on, except for Greyhawk, which I play in. But as far as jamming goes, we'll be back in 2 weeks with a new Shadesong arc called The Wreckage of Stars, which will feature Scoozy here, Miko, the OK's GM, a newcomer to the guild, Aldo Clark, the brother of Guy Clark, who played in the
Daughter.
Saga Thane's daughter, Liv's daughter episode, and Adrian Sly Sparrow, who has played in a couple of other things with us and is a fantastic player also. So we'll be back with that in 2 weeks at this day and time. Thanks to Andy, my producer. Thanks for everyone for hanging out in chat. We're going to raid our good friend, Darling Creepshow. So please hang around. Give Darling some good old-fashioned Guild Spear love. Come in and check out our other shows. And we appreciate you all for hanging out and watching us do this thing. Thank you so much, players. You were amazing. Absolutely loved every minute of this with you. I can't say thank you enough. That's it for us. We're out of here. We'll catch you next time around the channel. Be good. Au revoir.
Bye.